victory on the day of my 19. In the hour that goes unseen, in a second comes the thing. I know it's real and then it's gone. Is it like this for everyone? In the space between I do, in a heartbeat it slips through, between a crystal and the floor, a wave and the shore, a perfect word that I can't say, but I keep trying anyway. In broken time, a dream sublime, in my perforated mind, awoken, unbroken, unspoken, a perforated mind. A perforated mind. My perforated mind. In broken time, a dream sublime, in my perforated mind, awoken, unbroken, unspoken, a perforated mind, my perforated mind.
Check.
My perforated mind, in my perforated mind, my perforated
Oh,
mind.
I'm almost up. I'm almost up. Give me a second. There we go. Here we go. Check.
I keep a seat where the light won't reach, whisper low so it sounds like peace. Lay your head, let the ceiling spin. You don't have to begin again.
All right.
I've been here where
Hold on. Let me check in with the staff chat. Make sure I'm heard. Make sure everything's rolling. Is it rolling? Instagram's up, I think. There you go.
Till you forget what you wanted most. It's just the way of the world. Down in the dirt where the flowers bloom. It's just the way of the
Excellent.
world. You'll feel the power of an empty room. It's just the way of the world. Just wait a moment and
All
we'll
right.
start again. You are the enemy.
That. There's this. It'll just transfer when it wants to, I think. Supposed to, anyways. Maybe I put in the wrong thing. All right, let's just see. Hold on. Let me go in here and let me say this is working. Hey, it's working. Man, am I dirty. Ugh. I switched shirts right before I came on because, man, I'm stinky winky. And right when I was kind of like getting rid of my cough, my little tickle, I've been like sanding and grinding concrete and mortar. And I was wearing a mask even, and yet there's still enough in the air when I was sweeping up after. I was like, meh, yeah, should have wore the painter's mask while I was, while I was sweeping. Would have been a good idea. 'Cause, it occurs to you a little bit later. So if I'm like my nails are nasty, like Summer doesn't even want to hug me because I'm stanky. Luckily, my mom is visiting and she has no sense of smell. So she and I are getting along famously. But hello, good to see you. Oh, the freakouts continue. My Lord have mercy. I just have to say, good Lord. Hey, no problem with those CSL. I will figure them out. Let's see. We'll go into the downloads folder, and we'll drag. Let's see. I got to open up the Trump thing for this one. It's so much stuff. You know what I mean? Okay, so we'll drag this, and I'll take this guy, and we'll see. This is a new Trump drop. It sounds like this.
Watching the market now. They're watching how are the stocks doing, how's it going.
How's the socks doing? What the fox say? What the fuck is he saying?
That pew. You've seen that pew.
Yes, I have seen that. Pew. That was a good one. And then what was the other one yesterday? Well, it was, by the way,
Open sieve.
it was an open sieve, right? That's as opposed to the other kind, where he announces that he is transitioning and his new name. Do not dead name him as Donald Trump. He is now candidacy. He's candidacy.
Announce my candidacy.
Yay, we're going to announce your candidacy. Candidacy ass. And then, what was the other one? Oh, this is the...
You want to begin the killing.
Oh, we did that one before. Okay, so that one's in there. Okay.
People are watching the market now. They're watching how are the stocks doing, how's it going.
That's right. You have to leave the market part in, or people might think he's talking about sports. Like, oh, the Red Sox, the White Sox. Nope, just the sock market.
Surge, the waters thick, danger, blood.
Yes, you have.
Tariffs!
So it didn't get much better. Trump spoke to the Dodgers today. All right, there's so much to cover. I'm just going to dive straight the hell in. This is a double. Yeah, sometimes it opens two. I don't know why. And when he had the Dodgers over, he went from 0 to HGTV in like 4 minutes. And they're also playing the goddamn song the whole time he's walking out. Yeah, there we go. And then this is the other thing. And then
Wet all the time.
yeah, okay. So this is how he opens. This is the Dodgers are there, and he's still trying to defend. Apparently, okay, this is what's happening. Apparently, so they paved the Rose Garden, because his version of Reagan's. You've seen one Redwood, you've seen them all. His version of that is you've seen one Rose Bush, you've seen them all, and so they just tiled it because he tiles everything except the bathroom. It seems very odd to me that he's worried about squishy ground everywhere but near the shower and the shitter. And but I guess if you got Walt Nada hosing you down every day, it doesn't quite matter. We're so close to 92K. Yeah, subscribe everybody if you would. I mean, I've got 10 million watch hours already. Now I know I'm on a lot, but god dang. All right. This is where's this? This is right at the beginning of the speech. Like one of these, like he walks up and then basically right out of the gate.
To be grass, and it was always wet,
Yeah, hence the garden kind of part.
So the White House is built on a wetland, and when you're built on a wetland, the grass is wet all the time.
So wet is the primary word. Now, again, he apparently has to keep defending the shit he's doing to the White House to Melania, because apparently she is bitching about it all the time. And this is exactly why he keeps bringing it up. She's like, I don't like Donald. I don't like.
If it didn't rain for 5
I don't think she says that. I think she just has that stare, and he feels defensive anytime. Because, like I said, she has resting assassin face.
days, it was very wet. And we had a lot of very upset women. They'd stand in there with the high heels, and they'd just go down like quicksand. And that took place for about 150 years and I decided to do something about it. And this has become an incredible place for dining and for news conferences and for events like this. And this is a very special event because it's the Dodgers.
Okay, that's why. Where am I? He looks down right at the... this is very... it's great to be here with the Dodgers. That's where I am. What the... This... Really?
Events like this, and this is a very special...
This is a special event with the Dodgers, right? Shit, okay. I don't recognize them if they're wearing suits. This is... You gotta understand. I need you assholes to dress the job. So if you could show up looking like the baseball furies next time, at least it would cue me to who the hell I'm talking about. And, it's like, that's why I insist on construction workers and those kind of people. When they come into the White House, I make them wear safety vests and helmets. So I'm like, oh, right, we're doing construction today. Yeah.
Because it's the Dodgers, and they're the world champions. And,
yeah, way to put it, man. The excitement, I don't know how anybody could have, it's nice that they won. It is super important. They're the world champions, even though it's only the United States, but that's never lost on us. But, at least you could bring the pizzazz that we expect, the riz, the lightning, the payow, the what's the word you were looking for?
my candidacy.
No, not that one.
It was an open sieve.
No, not that one.
How do you want to begin the killing?
Not that one. It was...
I don't want to say whether or not. People are watching the market. You've surged the war.
Where did the pew go? I dragged it over there.
You've seen that pew.
There it is. Yeah, that's what he's bringing to this speech right now. You've seen that pew.
You've seen that pew.
Pew. You have. Pew. No one has ever seen that. If I saw pew, I would look away.
And Mark, this is the first time we've ever used the new rose garden. You see right up there, the rose garden. And put that up. Looks very nice. This is not. Do you think Biden would do that? I don't think so. I don't.
What the fuck are you? What, a sign that says it's the rose garden because nobody knows it's the rose garden anymore because it's completely devoid of roses and garden shit.
I think Biden would do it. And we create.
What? Yeah. Why would you hang them outside? It's not Florida, you dumb son of a bitch. You wouldn't do that. You wouldn't. Oh my God. Because it rains and snows. That's ridiculous. No, he wouldn't do that. Precisely. With the gold leafing on the outside of the building. Jesus Christ.
Walk of Fame. That wall for 150 years had absolutely nothing on it. And it
Yeah, it's called class.
always used to amaze me. I said, what are we going to put on that wall?
Nothing. Leave it the fuck alone. It's the people's house. You can do whatever you want to the inside, but the outside is iconic, you dipshit.
Now, I could put some of the great Dodgers
Who gives a fuck?
on the wall, but I figured maybe it's more appropriate that we put the presidents. So it's been quite something.
As opposed to rando members of the Dodgers? What, this team or just over time?
And we did from Washington to Trump, and people love it. And
Do they? They all want to come by and look at it? Jesus Christ. Do they tell you they love it? Let me ask you, is anyone allowed to tell you they don't? If anybody says, I think that's a stupid idea, do you make them leave immediately and have them targeted? Because that's what it seems like. And so therefore, I'm not sure if you can trust whether people actually like it or not. I think this is yet another example of how this is the perfect recipe for yes man soup.
Study the plaques, and generally speaking, I was very nice to the people up there. A couple of them probably not as nice as I could have been. But I just want to say that we're delighted to host the 2025 World Series champions, the Los Angeles Dodgers. Amazing.
Amazing that they used to be the the Brooklyn Trolley Dodgers, actually. That's where they got their name from. What was that noise? Did he just face fart again? We're not going to watch nothing but Trump for this one. I just wanted to cut into the beginning of this, but
amazing.
What was that?
And for the first time in the proud history of this famous franchise, you are repeat champions. I didn't know that. That's the first time, huh? Well, great ownership, great management. And so I'm thrilled to say welcome back to the White House. And maybe I'll see you again next year, I hope. But it's a really...
But it's really, this is so exciting.
It's truly a great, when you talk about a brand, it's one of the great brands anywhere in the world, no matter.
Oh my God. Yeah, absolutely. I love Dodgers toothpaste, even though it tastes like shit. I'll buy their sports drink because it dodges your entire insides and goes straight out your penis. What are you talking about? It's a team name, stupid. You know why it doesn't endure? Because it wasn't accidentally named after a racial group and required a bunch of fucking polish over the years, dummy. One of the great brands. Shut up. Also, I apologize. Luckily, the sun is with us, and it's not shining in the front. So, all right. Now, none of us needs this in our lives. You get it. He came out and he blathered. There was another blather that he did. He spoke to some little gathering today as well. I'll find it in a minute. But the big thing, of course, today is apparently while he's blathering on about the Dodgers and I'll find this because you have to see. This is a great example of Trump just literally having no idea what his agenda is for the day. And I don't know whether that is just shitty management on Susie Wiles' behalf, or they know he won't go if they tell him the truth, so he doesn't bother, right? That shit. I particularly love this. It's like this, one of these like sit down rando meetings with these folks. Come in. Where is he? It was, oh, here it is. Yeah, so he made, this is a, get out of here. Okay, so this was, Trump makes an announcement an announcement on the ratepayer protection plan. Now, what is the ratepayer protection plan? Well, that is a response to, because they have to, a response to, let me slide this thing in. This thing is annoying me. Hold on. Get it out of here. Lock that too. I forgot to change the fade low. There we go. This is in response to people thinking their electrical bill is going to go up because of AI data centers, right? Which it is. And let me show you something. This is, in theory, he made it look like he wasn't supposed to be there. That he made a choice just to zip over there for shits and giggles, okay? So this was not supposed to be a planned thing. Now, everything the president does is planned. That's just dumb. He just forgot it was on his agenda and he can't shut the fuck up about it. And so it's just one of these things where this was probably, he wanted to do the Dodgers thing. He has to do this one. That's where his head is at, besides up his ass. Now, watch this.
To me, what?
Oh, wait, back up. Hold on. I want you to see before he gets to the talk. Right? So they're playing the song. I want you to see, I'm not even going to play music over this. I want you to see how long these assholes have to clap while Lee Greenwood plays. It's bad enough when he walks on stage. Not even, nope. Move, camera guy. You're ruining somebody else's shot, or it's very meta. We're seeing both shots. And the song is going on. He shakes hands with everybody while the song is playing. These are all business people and cabinet members, so that's why I would say it. All right, yeah. Okay, we made the black guy sit on the very far end. He works for you. Oh, you don't say. All right. And then he comes back over, and he would just sit down, and they should just wind down the song. Nope. Just stands behind the chair like an asshole while everybody claps. I'm not even going to play the clapping. Look how long this is. This is fucking cringe. Suck on. And I'm like, when is it over? just, and you know, these guys aren't that young. Probably elbows are starting to click. Honestly, look at this nonsense. And you know when it's getting, like, he's starting to get embarrassed because he wants to talk or do something, but he feels like it's like yeah, I'll tell you something I do. Remind people I'm still alive up here. It's like Mitch McConnell's proof of life picture. Still, and now the little waddle. He knows the song's starting to come to a close. Okay, and then he'll do the little, hey, there we go, and then finally works his way out, and they. Thank you very much, everybody. God damn. That's just fucking painful. I don't, like... Here, hold on. This is... Hold on. This is the...
Group, and they said, could you come over?
Here you go. Now, this is... Listen to the top of this. Because he's presenting this like, you know, there are just some guys gathering, and I can't tell if he thinks he's being ironic or if he's just... honestly, you'll see.
Well, thank you very much, everybody. I heard about this group, and they said, could you come over and run over and say a few things? And I said, absolutely, I will. And they gave me the lowest seat I've ever sat in. And I think, you know, they said that. They do that on purpose.
No, I think it's just the hydraulic in the chair just giving out for your fat ass.
I don't think it was Chris that did it.
It is exactly the same height as the guy next to him. It is exactly the same height. We can see the top of the guy's seat next to you. We can see it. We can see the line that's right there. You're on the same platform. You're just not 6'3" is really the reality here. This is what we're talking about. You're not 6'3". And you're starting to stoop and fade, I guess. He's starting to bend. He's starting to just... He's wilting. It's the wilting of an 80-year-old.
I'm just trying to compare them.
Yes, and if you compare them, they're the same height.
Chris wouldn't do that, but it happens. It's really an honor to be with you, tremendous people. And
oh, there's the phlegm.
it's a really important subject, so I wanted to be here. I'll say
Oh, yeah? What is
a
it?
few words, and then I'll head out, and you'll handle it. And it's something you're very familiar with.
Oh, yeah, the thing. What's the thing he's really familiar with? What's that thing? I mean, before you open the folder, why are you there? What is this about? What does it say on the wall behind you? What is this?
The people in the room are real doers, real amazing. It's an amazing group.
Oh, yeah? What's amazing about them? Obviously, if they're amazing, why do you even need notes? You certainly don't need a teleprompter. Well, except when you do, and that's always.
Here today to continue the incredible progress we're making in communities nationwide to ensure that as new data centers go up, and they're going up all over, electricity bills for American families will actually come down. You know, you're going to be building your own data centers, and you.
Yes, you are. We are. I think that's what you do. Like the citizenry. I'm going to build my own data center. You're going to. It's like Oprah with data centers. There's one under everybody's chair.
You're going to building your own electric plants.
Right. That's what you meant to say. When you build those, you're going to be doing this. So just.
You're essentially becoming a utility.
For yourself? Yes. It's like when you masturbate and you're essentially becoming the world's greatest lover. Yeah, that's exactly. Sorry. Wrong. I know. Halloween Sparks.
Con Edison in New York, but maybe at a
smaller and with more fumes.
Level that nobody's ever seen before, because we've seen some of the plants that they're building are absolutely incredible. They're absolutely incredible.
Yeah, what's incredible about them besides the fact that they look like a giant shipping warehouse? Are they great works of architecture? Are they gorgeous to look at? Would they make the Greeks proud?
Electric plants, electric manufacturing plants.
No. Electric generating plants don't manufacture electricity. Electricity is not manufactured. There is not a single assembly line in this whole country that puts together electricity. What do you do? With the tail end, I put the bzzz on. What do you do? I'm in charge of the blue glow when your finger touches a wall when you've walked across carpet. Awesome. Yeah, I have an I used to work in an electricity manufacturing factory, and now I make electricity on Etsy. It's locally grown.
It's hard to believe, but you need double the electricity that we have right now, maybe even more than that, to really fulfill what you want to do. We're leading China by a lot. And
fulfill what you want to do, which would be
using our old...
Yeah, that's right. It's the electric slide. That's right.
Grid would not have worked. And I came up with the idea that, build your own plant. This way nobody can complain. You won't call me and say what a...
Yeah, they can. Because of the pollution? Because they're still taking groundwater and all that. What are you talking about? They won't complain. And you think they're all the same?
Terrible job I'm doing because we have a...
Oh, you mean like the people downriver from Colossus, Elon Musk's fucking travesty?
200-year-old grid that's...
Sorry, how old is our grid? What? Wait a minute. What? How old is the grid?
Job I'm doing because we have a 200-year-old grid.
Do we now? Do we have a 200? Do we have a 200-year-old grid? I had no idea America was that far ahead that long ago.
That's not the best in the world. You look at some places, you take a look at California, you have brownouts and blackouts every weekend. The last...
No, you really don't. You don't. What is that? What are you talking about? Hold on. Let's see. One second. There we go.
They're going to be able to do is supply electric at numbers. Nobody's ever explained to me why it's so much electricity.
Yeah. So California had a reputation for rolling blackouts during the electricity crisis in 2000 and 2001. Let's see. Yeah. Blackout there with your public safety power shut off. Sound like just got over. Say a rolling blackout. California experienced in 2001. Yeah, the last time they did, after the 2000-2001 electricity crisis, Enron, anybody? Was August of 2020, when everybody was working from home and California was working harder than just about anybody else. We had some during that summer when he was president last time. Okay.
Why you need so much, nor did I care that much, to be honest with you. All I know is you need more than double what we produce right now. Think of it. So we produce tremendous amounts of electricity for every business.
Oh yeah, tremendous amount. Too much? Is it so much energy they're selling it off? It's practically free, I guess, right? It's so much. We're producing so much. I can't imagine in a supply and demand economy that you could be charging very much.
And this industry needs more than double that amount. So we're letting you build your own with the Trump administration's ratepayer protection plan. The American innovators and consumers thrive to win together because we're insisting that AI... Thrive
to win together? Strive? Strive.
consumers thrive to win together because we're
I think strive to win together, not thrive to win together. I mean, strive to thrive together. Striving to thrive. That's going to be my my self-help book. Strive to thrive. Come on, you could do it. Ow, hernia. Ah. All right. I'm striving. Keep striving, man.
insisting that AI data centers and big tech companies
I love that they laminate the pages or cover them in plastic so he doesn't gob all over them when he's slathering, when saliva is just pouring out of his face.
pay their own way, and that's what they're doing, and they're happy to do it because this way they're going to be able to
They don't have a choice.
function and function brilliantly. They're going to have a lot of
Yeah, so much function. They're just fucking nailing that functioning, buddy. Yeah, they're functioning like nobody's ever functioned before.
electricity left over, and they'll put that into the grid, so it'll actually
The 200-year-old grid. Oh my God. Wait, does brand new electricity work in the 200-year-old grid? Is electricity the same? I mean, technology has changed so much since 1826.
up with more electricity. The rates are going to go down. As president, I've always said that America's goal must be to dominate the future, and that includes being the number
Really? I said dominate the future. Make the future your bitch. That's the first chapter in my book, Strive to Thrive.
one superpower in artificial intelligence. So important. And this is, I think, bigger than frankly, I think it's bigger than the internet. It's bigger than
Well, the internet will by and large be the delivery system by which most people get it. So it'll grow in coordination and in parallel. It's like, is the smaller part of a catamaran less important since the other part will tip over without it?
anything anyone's seen thus far. Maybe someday there'll be something bigger than this, probably will. But I think
Wow, I didn't realize we were going to go into deep futurism. Nobody's ever seen anything like this. Right? Religious people who believe Jesus walked on water. Right? He doesn't even know he's insulting his own moronic followers.
until this point, AI is probably the biggest thing anybody's ever seen. And whoever wins that race is probably going to win, period.
Elvis is going to win that race. Elvis, you going to win that race? I'm going to win that race. Elvis, you want some lemonade? Lemonade.
And again, we're
That cool, refreshing drink.
leading China, and we want to keep it that way. President Xi's coming over on September 24th.
Really? And, oh, shit. Did you tell Kash Patel he's going to be in Russia? He's going to miss him. Ah.
And we talked about it when I was over in Beijing.
Oh, yeah? So it's your fault?
And we'll be talking about it again.
Oh, yeah? I would love to hear. Please let there be a transcript of the conversation between these two numbnuts talking about the future of AI. Going to be big. It's very big. I agree. Very big. It's very big. See, as big is probably what we can expect. It's going to be bigger than anyone's ever seen before. I could probably agree with that. There might be some things bigger, but maybe not. It could be, but I don't see it. What exactly are you going to be talking about? We want to be ahead. No, we want to be ahead. Great
But
conversation.
he was very impressed with the job we've done because
Yeah, that's why they've been piggybacking on Anthropic's work, dummy.
ordinarily, they don't have any problem with electric. They build a lot of electric. They don't do environmental impact statements. They just say, you want electric, we'll build it. They don't use too many windmills. They make the windmills, but they don't use them. They do it the old-fashioned way in many ways.
What do they do? Like the old-fashioned way? They bang rocks together, wait for the sky god to send lightning to set a tree on fire so they can have a barbecue? What the fuck are you talking about?
The United States never settles for second, and we don't under this administration. I can tell you that. You see that because we have the hottest country right now anywhere in the world. We live by the motto America first. That's what's made us very strong, and we're leading China and all other countries by a lot in AI and
Define a lot.
just about every other category.
Oh yeah, what would be those categories besides large language models and machine learning, aside, all the deep technical mumbo jumbo, is it the coding side of the benchmarks that we're ahead by a lot, or is it the fact that ours can have a British accent if we want it?
Including crypto. We want to stay in front in crypto. They'd love to.
Do we want to stay in front? You don't want to get in behind in crypto.
Take that over.
They do. It's illegal in China. What do you mean they want to take it over?
So many other things they'd like to take over there.
Oh, they'd love to take over the stuff with the thing. Yeah, they want to. What's that thing they were going to take over? What was it? There was a thing. They were totally going to take it over. I remember there was electric something or other. I don't know.
Highly competitive, if you haven't noticed.
Mm-hmm. To say the least. Sarcasm.
But thanks in part to this incredible technology boom, investments are pouring into the United States from all over the world. $19.2 trillion.
Gibberish.
Creating hundreds of thousands of jobs. So think of it,
$19 trillion would create hundreds of thousands of jobs? How many? That seems low.
$0.2 trillion.
It also isn't.
In 12 months. Okay?
No, not in 12 months. You've gotten these promises in your head that it's going to add up. A lot of these are targets over decades, if at all.
The previous administration had less than $1 trillion.
But it was actual money. See, that's the difference. It wasn't just promise. This is the reason you can look back and say it was a little under $1 trillion is A, it was fucking COVID, but also a good portion that we weren't looking for anybody else to pick up our mess. You're trying to patch holes in your defense budget and stuff with money from other countries.
In 4 years. I would say that's an improvement. Do I get credit for it? No.
Well, that's because it hasn't happened, and it's not going to. And our national debt is going up $93 million a second or some shit.
But no credit.
An hour? Is it an hour? Am I being too mean?
Look at that. It's a 19.2 in 12 months.
Yeah, that's just a lie. Not true at all. On the White House's own website, it says 9.2. I'm so tired of debunking this lame-ass lie. Come on, you're supposed to be the world's greatest salesman, but come up with some new lies. Like, I understand the Hitler method. I understand propaganda. I know you have to repeat the lie over and over and over again till it becomes the truth. But it can't be a material number that we can check, stupid. You have to go, we're for America. America believes in us, and I believe in America. That's the kind of shit you repeat over and over, and then people go, well, he must believe in America. That's how it works. That's the propaganda that languaging that has to be repeated. You can't just go, the earth is flat. It's fucking flat. It's flat. It's flat. And you say flat all the time. I say it. I told you it's flat. It doesn't become flat because you said so. It doesn't work that way.
Less than 1 in 4 years. It's hard to believe, right? But
yes, and again, why? Because it's a real number?
That's the way it is.
It's not the way it is.
No credit, but we just keep chugging along. But as I say, I get no credit for anything, and then I look around the Oval Office. I said, oh, but we're in the Oval Office, so I guess we do get credit.
No. Hoover was in the Oval Office around this time in his presidency, too.
But less than 2 years ago, our country was dead. And I've had this said by so many leaders. I use the expression a little bit different.
No. What you've done is taken what MBS or some shithead said to you from a royal oil-rich, racially and religiously homogenous country, tell you that our pluralistic society is a shithole and it used to be terrible, but now that you're there, you're going to clean it up. You're the boss. And he forgot who said it, so he's attributed it to multiple people. I guess it's like so many people have given me this same gift. I only have one of them. But so many people give it to me. I get it every year. I only have one because he gave it to me and he gave it to me and he gave it to me. No, one of them gave it to you. You just forgot. And keep it. Thanks for the shit emoji coffee mug.
Different sometimes, said differently, but meaning the same thing. They say, sir, less than 2 years ago, your country was dead.
Oh, maybe it's their language was what you mean.
Now you have the hottest country anywhere in the world, and we are the hottest in the world. At the same time, we know that the data centers and AI are dramatically increasing the demand for electricity. It's only fair that the cost of building the new infrastructure required to meet this demand should be borne by the corporations themselves, not by the American consumers and the American patriots, American citizens.
Yeah, so maggots yell at you about this, and this is how you're doing a little CYA.
And I think everybody agrees to it. And actually, they really
They agree to it?
don't have a choice because there's no way of producing that kind of electricity, the kind you need, and they want to do it themselves. And honestly, they're coming up with some plants that are genius, just like they are. That's why earlier this
Sorry, if you're talking about Elon Musk, genius like they are means not at all.
year I introduced the Ratepayer Protection Pledge.
Okay, so not only did we have to sit through the signing of the executive order on this horse shit, he's got to come out and beat his chest about having signed it. This non-binding agreement to look the other way.
This groundbreaking plan, America's largest tech companies have formally committed to fund or build all energy infrastructure required to meet the demand they are placing on the grid. So they're going to be funding all of those electric needs, and we're giving them the right to build their own power plants. Lee Zeldin is here. He's fun.
So, real quick, are they liable if anything happens because of these plants? I mean, on Earth One, they should be, but seems like if you bum rush it and say, hey, build it right away, this is national security, and they go, hey, we had to build it sloppy and fast, it exploded, but, they said quick. We needed it quick, right? So we did it. Like, it's really the government's problem. It's the taxpayer that blew up your farm, not me.
And he's getting it done quickly. And thank you. Stand up.
Stand up. Hammered shit. This dude is out of it. Now I gotta hold my spot so then I don't forget where I was.
He is phenomenal. He's incredible. He's an MVP candidate, I will tell you. He is doing things at levels, and by the way, everything
that no one's ever seen before?
Perfectly. He's totally into the environment, but he's getting things done in 2, 3, 4 weeks that used to take years and years. And people...
Yeah, who needs to check, the ground to see if a dam or a structure can hold it up for more than 3 years? It won't be your problem when it falls over.
Getting their approvals, and they're building buildings. We're building more buildings now, plants, and all sorts of manufacturing capability that we've never done anywhere near it many, many times. And companies are pouring in. Toyota, the other day, as you know, announced that they're moving into our country from Mexico. They're going to be, I think, closing up a lot of their operation, maybe all of it in Mexico.
Nope, they're not. They have 13 plants here. They're building one more. They've still got 3 over there.
Moving to this country. We have we have more car plants being built now in the United States than at any time in history. And
I gotta say that one seems like a reach. Because yeah. They're either expanding existing assembly plants, retooling factories from EVs back to hybrids or internal combustion. That's a big part of the build. Building battery plants, which again are, like Marjorie Taylor Greene's district, the 3,000 jobs that were added during her time in Congress were all from a battery plant. Let's see. Yeah, $5 billion investment in Michigan sounds like a new plant, but often it means upgrading 3 existing factories, right, blah, blah, because they can write it off too. A lot of it is they can. He's given them the ability to write off these expansions and pay no taxes on them, so they're bum rushing to do this before it falls off. Yeah, that's just materially not true. Yeah, the semiconductor fabs, battery plants, auto suppliers, EV component factories started by and large under the CHIPS Act and the Inflation Reduction Act. And other companies have tacked onto that because he gave them a tax write-off. That's why. This is CHIPS and Science Act and Inflation Reduction Act shit. Real quick. Let's see there. Okay, there we go. Now back to where we were.
We went years before me. We went many years with no car plant being built. I mean,
Gibberish.
they wouldn't even think about.
So, Section 45 of the Section 45 of the Inflation Reduction Act paid manufacturers for producing eligible components in the United States: battery cells, battery modules, solar panels, wind turbine and critical minerals for batteries. Section 48C, Advanced Energy Project Credits, was an investment tax credit of 30% of qualified project costs to build new factories, expand factories, or retool existing factories. From clean energy manufacturing, for clean energy manufacturing and critical material processing. The clean vehicle credit, 7,500 EV tax credit, had them build a lot of these factories. Now they're retooling them because they don't have to make EVs under he removed the Biden mandate. That was why. Okay. So that they'd have to spend to just go back to making ICE cars. The Inflation Reduction Act also had energy projects credits for that for American-made steel, iron, and manufacturing products. There you go. So this all happened under the Inflation Reduction Act, and it's all like the ground broken in 2023, 2024, and then stuff's built, and then it takes a while, and then it starts being operational.
In this country now, with same thing with chips. We'll have about 50% by the time this term is over. We're going to have probably 50% of the chip market.
Thanks, Joe Biden.
A year ago, when we began, we had no chip market. We had
gibberish.
Virtually none, other than Intel. We had Intel.
Virtually none, except for the ones that we have.
And we made a purchase of 10% of Intel. We got it for the right price. And we made approximately $72 billion on that deal. So it was good. Do I get credit for that one? No.
Yeah, you do. You get called a socialist and a communist by people in your own party.
I get no credit.
Wow. Somebody, like, Karen came to play.
None.
That's because it's antithetical to everything your party stands for, so they're mum about it. And Democrats are like, this is a stupid idea. Now, if Intel gets in trouble, we're on the hook for it.
But we did that, and we made a lot of.
You ever heard of a company getting sued and the investors lose their stakes because? All right.
Great deals, I'll tell you, and we keep it going too. But Intel's been fantastic, one of the hottest companies anywhere in the country. And when we met them, they were really having very big difficulty. We worked with them, but
yeah, it sounds like a government bailout.
The stock price has gone up many times. I think it's maybe the hottest or one of the hottest anywhere in the world. So there was.
Not really. I mean, it's fine. Shall we look it up? Shall we? This is such nonsense. Hold on, chat room. I need to look up something. Let's see. It's down 2% today. I'm gonna these 6 months. year to date. There we go. This would be 331.26. Yeah, this is where he bought into it. It's at 100 and something. It was at 45. That's where the government buy-in is. This is where it's one of the hottest because he and his family bought a big chunk of it right here, and then they're riding it out. Now, as it settles out, will it go? I mean, because we have to build chips here, so the Chips and Science Act, they knew it was going to be going that direction. Hey, look at this. There's DJT. Look at that. The Trump Media and Technology Group. How's that doing? Oh, shit. No, let's... So DJT is telling you what a hot stock is. It's going to give you a hot stock injection. All right, where was... I hate this. Back over here. Yeah.
An honor to do it. I love looking good. But we made a lot of money. We made...
Well, you must hate every day you walk by a shiny surface. Just, yeah, this is a rough one.
It's over $72 billion on that profit. They've also agreed to invest heavily in local communities where data centers are built, supporting job training and local services.
Yeah, same shit you heard from coal mine companies.
They're really spending a tremendous amount of money. In other words, for the governors in the room, you have great governors in this room, and these companies are spending tremendous amounts of money on the communities, the local communities.
Buying people off so that they don't sue, and
so
purchasing people's property for pennies on the dollar when their well runs dry or turns toxic.
I think it's important that we tell the local communities that, because other nations are trying to get us to slow down, and they're spending a lot of money on propaganda, on press, PR, trying to convince everybody that this isn't a positive thing. And if
yeah, you should bring that up. You didn't bring that up when you and Xi talked about AI last time. You should bring that up in September when you talk about AI with Xi. Hey, stop your soft power operatives from posing as Americans and setting communities against each other. Bring that up. See how well that goes.
Do this, we're going to be left behind. And even communities compared to other communities. You have some communities that really want this. This isn't
Do you?
all negative stuff. You have communities that really want the data center.
Oh, yeah? Why don't they just put them there then? Shit. Where?
And frankly, those are the smart communities, because it means
they don't care how fast and dirty the damn thing is built. This is near my summer home. This technology is going to fade in 3 years anyways. They're not going to need these giant places. And then there's going to be an Amazon fulfillment center a block from my house.
Tremendous numbers
full of robots.
Of jobs. Very little actual disruption.
Actual disruption. Also, very little actual jobs.
And the ones that don't want it, the happiest people in the world are foreign countries, number one, and number two, other.
That's right. If you don't want a data center in your backyard, poisoning the groundwater and sucking up all your electricity and possibly putting a poorly regulated nuclear facility a mile from your house, if you don't like that, then the terrorists win.
Communities within our country, because they're begging for them to be there, and some of them are great communities.
Oh, those are such great communities. The ones that beg for data centers. So in what form does this begging occur in? What kind of begging are we seeing? Is it kind of a coy kind of a begging where they're like, I don't know, maybe I would, maybe I wouldn't. Like, you give me one of your dirty data centers. Or is this one of those situations where no means harder?
Very, very forward-looking communities.
Yes, communities of the future.
Very smart communities. Since
people who want to become mutants.
I introduced this plan just a few months ago, more than 220 utilities, tech companies, state governments, and other partners have signed our ratepayer protection pledge. Electricity rates for 80% of the power.
Okay. beyond the phlegm, he's got, this is starting to happen.
Distributed in America are now being kept in check by the.
You guys would tell me, right? I gotta say, like, the white piece of spit going from lip to lip and the corner part, I don't know that I've ever really experienced that because I have full lips and my tongue is too big for my mouth. So there's a lot of movement constantly. But like that, like that would be an all hands on deck. The first time it shows up. Thank you so much. CSL and Andrea and everybody, just please. And they're like, hey, there's a, yeah. So I don't, it's not an issue for me most of the time. But man, if it did, I would expect a good friend, people who care, to tell me immediately. No shame in it. It happens. But just, you know, whatever it is. You know, cottonmouth alert, something. Yes, thank you. Hal, you have lip scum. Thank you very much. Yes, please. Thank you for telling me. Now, granted, I put a screen up so that I can see my face. So I notice, and I think that's a good way to go. And it also guarantees that, you know how I always look happy to be here? It's because I like my own face. I get to look right at me. This is one of the best jobs ever. I get to work right across from my favorite person. You're not saying anything? You son of a bitch, Chris. How dare you?
Plan. We have kept rates down, way down. You know, we inherited the worst inflation in the history of America.
No, you didn't. It was 2.99.
From the Biden administration. No,
you didn't.
And as you know, last week it was announced that inflation is way down. It's
No, it isn't.
It's down more than it's been in over 6 years, and other things are happening.
No, it hasn't. That's not how this works. It is not. It's not down. Okay. Wouldn't that put us right in the middle of fucking COVID, anyways?
That are so fantastic, and when all these buildings, plants, factories that we're talking about start opening up, all I know is I'd like to be the next president because I'm going to make somebody look very good. They're going to.
This is him admitting that all the stuff he is touting was because of legislation passed under Biden.
Sit there and all this stuff is going to be opening and they're going to be saying what a genius they are. That happened with Biden. I got cuts in medicine prices that statutorily took 2 or 3 years.
Statutorily?
And I got these tremendous cuts, and then they sat there and said, oh, yeah. They didn't even know where they came from. But I got them, and this is going to be a much bigger
gibberish
example. You have all these plants that are going to be opening up over the next 2 years.
Oh, the plants.
Sooner, but 2 years. And somebody's going to look very, very smart, and I hope you remember me because what we've done is...
No, I'm sorry. What was your name again? Hold on. Hold on. A second. Asshole. Thank you very much. You can see your way out.
Something that nobody thought was possible. For example, Southern
Oh, here we go. All right. An example. We might actually have something.
companies, Georgia Power has frozen base rates for households until 2029. Is anybody here from Georgia Power? Yeah, there's a certain governor who's here. A certain governor who's here. Congratulations. Good job. That's a great job. I've heard about it. Congratulations to both.
Sorry. So sorry. So what Mamdani is doing to rent, that's fucking communism. But regardless of production of energy, whether there's too much or there's too little, they're freezing the rates. So for why? Hold on. I thought communism, right? I thought I can't, like, he doesn't, he touts the 10%, which is actually 15% in Intel, but whatever, unless the numbers don't mean anything. Who the fuck knows? But between that and fixing the price of energy regardless of supply and demand, Hello, communism.
It's fantastic. And Georgia, the revenue from Google's data center construction is allowing them to eliminate property taxes entirely. And that's what you call using it to your advantage. The numbers are so
Is that what you call it?
incredible. Nobody's ever seen,
there's no such thing as a free fucking lunch. And if they're paying you that way, if they're trying to buy everybody off with no property taxes, maybe there's a reason. Michael, does this sound a little too good to be true? Like short-term yay for long-term nay?
all my life, the biggest building in the whole world was the Pentagon. And you can fit 25 Pentagons into some of these buildings, 25. And if you happen to be a community, and there's very little disruption. They're just
No, you can't.
large. They go on for miles. And
Oh, God.
frankly, if you like certain types of things, they're incredible to
They are. If you like certain types of things, they're incredible. What do you mean? Warehouse space?
look at, to see that.
Yeah, if you love seeing like rows and rows and rows of cooling units, I'm getting a chub just thinking about it. If you know what I love? I love, and this is a personal thing, I'm a little embarrassed to share it, but when I see a building with no fucking windows, I'm like, that's it. That's my dream home. That's where I think everybody dreams of working one day.
We could do something.
Nothing. You know what America needs? More concrete rectangles. What the fuck? If you like certain types of things. And those things would be...
These buildings, 25.
Okay, that I need to look up as well. Can the biggest data center in the U.S. hold 25 pentagons? I don't... That seems like a lot. I was comparing the land area of the enormous data centers with the ground footprint of the Pentagon. Not saying one data center building contains 25 times the Pentagon's interiors, but the Switch Citadel Tahoe Reno campus in Nevada is planned across 2,000 acres with up to 7.2 million square feet of actual data center building space. Occupies a ground footprint of roughly 29 acres, contains 6.5 million square feet of total floor area because it's several stories. So the campus land is 69 Pentagon footprints is what he's talking about. The interior space is 1.1 pentagons. It's in the entire... So the land... The thing it's on, and the interior space to be in is about the size of the Pentagon, even though it's 2,000 acres. Okay. That just got dumber. For all those missing the math, so is he. All right.
And if you happen to be a community, and there's very little disruption. They're just large. They go on for miles.
Yeah, unlike these communities.
And frankly, if you like certain types of things, they're incredible to look at, to see that we could do something like this. But
sorry, do they have tits? What are you talking about? If you like certain types of things, for one, I gotta admit, I do like certain types of things, mainly because liking everything would be exhausting. If you like certain types of things. God, which one are you, which one of these data centers are you driving by going, ooh, look at the trim on that thing. Pull over. Gotta rub one out. This place is gorgeous.
They also throw off tremendous amounts of money for the community. And
They do. They just, there's like a big money fountain out of the side of
when
them.
you look at Georgia and you look at the revenue, think of that revenue from Google's data center construction, allowing them to.
Sorry, review? What?
When you look at Georgia and you look at the revenue, think of that revenue
When you review?
from Google's data
The revenue?
center construction, allowing them to eliminate all property taxes. Did you know that, Brian? That's not bad, right? So, thank you very much. Great job. That's a great.
Not for the state.
Great job. And you probably had some negative stuff, a little heat. Oh, we don't want a data center.
Oh, we don't want a data center. Fucking citizens, am I right?
Usually those are the people that actually want them. And
Excuse me? Wait, what?
that's a great job. And you probably had some negative stuff, a little heat. Oh, we don't want a data center. Usually those are the people that actually want them.
Then why are they protesting? Are they just playing hard to get? What?
They'd like you not to build them. Because you know what? If it doesn't go to you and if it doesn't go to Georgia, as an example, it's going to go someplace else.
What? What are you talking about? What? So the people who say they don't want them actually want them because if they don't get them, they'll go someplace else. This is the same man who says Iran wants to make a deal. I'm starting to think they aren't desperate to make a deal after all.
And those people are very happy to get them, too, the smart people. American Electric Power now projects that their customers will enjoy as much as $16 billion in cost offsets for consumers thanks to their data center contracts. $16 billion. So,
over the course of how many years compared to what? $180 billion over the same period of time. And in what way that it's one of those things where you start looking at it and you're like, oh, this class action lawsuit, we won $70 billion. And then you get a check for a nickel.
think of that. That's cost offsets.
Cost offsets. I gotta say, that sounds like a dodge too. Cost savings would be a nice one, but you can't say, if it was cost savings, you would say cost savings, but cost offsets. Seems like there's a reason why you're not saying savings, right? Offset sounds like a legally true, but sort of depressing variant. Offsets, all right.
Iowa, Alliant Energy, data center
Alliant?
deals. Where are you, Alliant?
Alliant? Alliant?
Alliant.
Alliant?
Where are you? Are you here?
Alliant? Alliant? Bueller? Fry? When Cameron was in Egypt's land, let my Cameron go.
Thank you.
Thank you, Alliant.
Data
I'm pretty sure it's Alliant.
center deals.
Sorry.
Center deals. Where are you, Alliant? Alliant.
Alliant. Ew. Alliant. Alliant will be here in the afternoon. Meanwhile, I'll be in the drawing room waiting on Madoff playing the grand piano, waiting for Alliant.
Are you here? Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you. That was butch as shit. I don't know if I can handle all this alpha male talk.
Data center deals are
Ron, where you at? Right.
allowing them to freeze electric rates for consumers for at least 5 years. So
You read that part already.
your rates are going to stay the same or lower.
No, they're going to stay the same. That's what frozen means.
In Louisiana,
Just, you know what? Let it go. Let it go.
there's a guy looks like he's from Louisiana to me. Public
What? Why? Because it's on his placard, or has he just got the 7-10 split?
School teachers in so think of that, Richland Parish are getting
Richard or Richland. I will go with either.
as much as $50,000 in bonuses this year, thanks to a $27 billion project by Meta that will also save local residents $2.6 billion on their electricity bills. Their electricity is going down in less than half.
Unless it's him.
It's big stuff.
There's big stuff. Doesn't have to happen. And if it doesn't, by the time it doesn't happen, you'll blame the next guy.
That's big stuff, Mr. Governor, right? You didn't
Mr. Governor.
have any doubt about it. Here's a governor doing a great job. We have some really great governors in this room.
Oh, yeah? Do you call them all Mr. Governor when you can't remember their name?
With the ratepayer protection pledge, we're creating a fair deal for everybody. This is how we'll grow our
Fair deal. Take it.
economy, lower the cost of living,
I need to have a shite.
protect American consumers, and lead the world in AI and high tech, all at the same time. We want to lead the world. And it is said, if you come in second, you're going to be second overall, because there's never been anything big like this. There's never
Sorry, if you come in second, you're going to be second overall. In overall AI?
been any, like in Georgia, there's no other thing you can do to create numbers like you've created, Brian. Both of you, there's no other thing. You can do 100 different deals, 100. It is nothing close to what you've been able to do.
What?
And why? They put a big, gorgeous new plant in a certain location. Big deal. It's so incredibly positive. Unfortunately,
Huh? All right. Can anybody...
all at the same time. We want to lead the world. And it is said, if you come in second, you're going to be second overall, because there's never been anything big like this. There's never been any, like in Georgia, there's no other thing you can do to create numbers like you've created, Brian. Both of you, there's no other thing. You can do
Sorry, yeah. Basically what he's saying is, Georgia, this is your only shot at relevance, is allowing data centers. There's nothing Georgia can come up with that will make money for the state like this. You have to have geniuses from the outside come in and build these plants, because what the fuck are people in Georgia going to make? That's what he means.
different deals, 100. It is nothing close to what you've been able to do. And why? They put a big, gorgeous new plant in a certain location. Big deal. It's so
A gorgeous new plant. Oh,
incredibly positive. Unfortunately, there are some who would like to lead us down the opposite path.
oh, the opposite path. What would the opposite path be?
And I call them the radical left communists. They call them socialists, but these people are communists, actually.
Okay, so they want to take us down the other route, where we don't buy a stake in businesses, and we don't price fix, and we don't move things that are good for the state into districts and force people to deal with it, because it's the community that's more important than individual property owners. Oh shit, wait.
I think it's a much more accurate term.
Great.
Want to shut down all new development, kill our most successful industries, destroy hundreds of thousands of jobs,
Yeah, that's their main reason.
and surrender
What kind of jobs are those? What would those people be doing besides building something and then it becomes a job-eating machine? Is the idea? I think that's their big fear.
AI race to China. And China, look, I'm not blaming them. I have a lot of respect for them. I have a lot of respect for President Xi, but
So he's got a copy of the Epstein files, is what you're saying.
they represent China. We represent the United States of
Yeah, but only technically.
America. And they lobby against these things, and they spend money on it, and they want communities to reject them as much as possible because they'd like to be leading the race. But we're leading the race, and unless we're very foolish and frankly very stupid, we'll continue to lead the race. We have a nice lead. A lot of people didn't expect that was possible.
Why not?
Perhaps even worse, the radical
It started as American technology. Why wouldn't we have a lead? Other than, in some cases, we have fallen behind in manufacturing of certain things. Rare earths is a good example. By and large, not because we lost the capacity, intellectually, or our engineers don't understand it, but that most of the citizenry of the United States doesn't want to be downstream from a bunch of toxic sludge if they don't have to be.
The left's plans would not lower your electricity bills, but they would actually increase them very substantially because you wouldn't have all of this money pouring in.
Sorry. Why would it increase substantially if the look, I think the argument about data centers is being conducted by and large by the dumbest people in the world on both sides of the argument. But why the fuck would an area that has, I don't know, let's say a standard of 5 as how much energy is used and no new giant facility comes in, why would their power go up substantially if it doesn't come in? What are you talking about?
You'd have American energy would be far more expensive, and regulating oil, natural gas, and clean, beautiful coal, it would be the end of all of it. Be the end of all of it.
Well, it's going to end at some point. Why not get past it quickly? I think one of the upsides of AI is that it's going to help us solve the renewable puzzle faster than if we did it by ourselves. You know, again, if you had 1,000 scientists who could work nonstop in a virtual environment for eternity and in an hour, that's, you might come up with a few solutions you wouldn't otherwise come up with in the timeline of the human lifespan. So yeah, it's going to help. And maybe that's the price to pay. Maybe that's how you sell stuff like this. You go, the data centers are going to be relatively temporary. We're not only going to talk about how we need to build them and how they'll be necessary for a while, but we need to talk about after these data centers go. Because when it came to other manufacturing, we built these places up. And then when it went off to other countries, or the jobs in the United States became more focused on managerial design and FinSec and all these other things, like a lot of advanced countries, the manufacturing goes someplace else and it builds up. So when that happens, we got to prepare. When you close a coal plant, it's a good idea to go, okay, what are these people going to do for a living? So that's what the Biden administration did. And you cursed them for it. So the idea with data centers is this is going to be a temporary technology. It is. If AI gets as smart as they say it's going to be, it's obviously somebody, myself included, is going to sit there and go, hey, is there any way we could grow the AI capacity we need without fucking needing twice the amount of energy? Thinking, yeah, here, do this. Like we're going to get to that point. So then what do you do with this giant, useless blight that you built in the middle of fucking fields in Iowa?
It would be the end of, frankly, it would be the end of great success for
the end of great success. Great success, I like. Wow, wow, wee, wow.
our country, because we've never
He is slowly becoming, he's somewhere between Borat and the dictator.
had anything like what's happening right now.
Well, yeah, certainly not in the 1820s when they were building our grid the first time.
I call them the Democrats because their policies are so bad. Look,
Oh, yeah? What was the policy? You mean the Chips and Science Act that gave you the plants you're taking credit for, or the Infrastructure Act that gave you the expansion of the auto plants and the building out of internalized manufacturing that's necessary for national security that you're bragging about right now? You mean those Democrats, the ones that actually passed an Infrastructure Act? You mean those Democrats that actually worked with Republicans and created a housing bill that became law even though you wouldn't fucking sign it because you're a whingy bitch?
think of it. No men. We want no men in women's sports. Transgender, they want transgender for everybody.
What does it, again, real quick, I feel like that requires a hand raised by somebody. What the fuck does that mean? Now, I'll tell you what it means. I've told you guys before. Some of you may be new. If you're new, let me know in the chat. If you haven't been watching for very long, and that's true of some folks, subscribe, if you will. I keep forgetting to ask, and that's why, I've got the numbers I do. I've got the watch hours like you wouldn't believe. I know I'm your side piece. It's okay. But what the fuck does he mean when he says transgender for everybody? What does he mean? Okay. What he means is transhumanism. And some folks, like Peter Thiel, attribute a certain lack of gender specificity to the kind of prototype humans we will become without creating babies via biological sex. So this is your kind of like the insane multi-billionaires who can't get laid except for when they have money. Those guys mixed with like Peter Thiel, who's sort of on the predatory edge of being gay. Again, it's one of those things where you're like, is it homosexual or is it gay? Because gay to me means you love the person. Homosexual just means why are you fucking a guy who looks just like you? I think it just seems like an act of ego, right? That would be the thing. So, but those folks who are talking about like, how can we reproduce without anybody being involved, right? Maybe we have pod children and we create, in the future, they'll look like the battery things in the Matrix, but that'll be the synthetic wombs or the future. They believe that. And that's, and that may or may not be over the course of millennia the way humans go, because we certainly, aren't squatting in a rice paddy by and large anymore and just letting them drop. And if it cries, you cut the string and put it to work, right? Or like a Monty Python sketch, right? We've moved past that. So steps are taken, right? We've got NICUs. That's not that weird, okay? But it's way down the line. But that's who he's talking about. He's talking about transhumanism. But he doesn't know the difference between transhumanism and transgender. And so when he hears the kind of spooky transhumanist stuff that Vance's friends are into, and that's where he gets it from. That's he heard transhumanism, and he thinks that means transgender for everybody. In the same way that he thinks people seeking asylum must have come from an asylum. That's what they're used to. We're one sub away from 92K. One sub away from 92K. This might be the button that does it. Hold on. Here we go. Ha-pow. You could do it. You could do it. You could be the one. You could be the one that puts us over the top. You wanna. I know it's not the top. The top is just 100K, but we got to get there one step at a time. Yeah. So that's just to clarify. That's what he means. Hey, we did it. Look at that. Our numbers are up because I've been pushing for it. Now 93. All right, I'm trying not to put too much pressure on you guys, but you could do it.
I call it transgender mutilization of your children.
Transgender mutilization. That's the transgender for everyone, is the transgender mutilization. Okay, well, sure. Mutilization, not a word, still.
For everybody. Open.
For everybody. And you get a transgender mutilization, and you get a transgender mutilization, and you get it. This is getting hard to say.
Borders where the world can pour in, where prisons from all over the world are released into our country.
The whole building? It just kind of, does it come on a conveyor belt or they just drag it in? Is that what I'm passing when I pass those like wide load trucks on the road?
And we've done a hell of a job in getting them out. Murderers, 11,000.
Yeah, it's almost like they were never actually here.
888. 888 murderers.
Yeah, it's amazing how that number never changes. It's amazing that number was true for the last decade and a half, because it's an accumulative number of people who are currently in jail or did their time and then were extradited or deported back to their countries. It's same number, even though 25 to 35 million people stampeded into the fucking country, that number hasn't gone up. Isn't that weird? That didn't strike maggots. Anybody in the chat? There's got to be a maggot in the chat. Maybe one of you just subscribed. So you can come back here and find comfort in reality occasionally. That's not weird to you? It's not weird to you that number is static, even though 25 to 35 million people. So none of these people have contributed to that number. Especially the ones that Trump, gave a pass. Like, obviously, the last thing he did when he left office in 2021, as he was going out there to his literal last act in office, was to extend delayed enforcement for Venezuelans so they could stay in the country. Where's Lincoln Riley's killer from? I have to look it up.
let into our country under the previous administration.
You know what AI can be good for is fact checking. Does anybody want to tell him this before he does these? I mean, I'm great at it, but
We've gotten a lot of them out. We're getting the rest of them out fast. But the Democrats in Congress want less energy, not more. And if given the chance, they'd send your prices soaring and inflation skyrocketing, which is exactly what would happen if you had somebody else sitting in the position that I am right now.
No, actually, it was on its way down when Biden was there, and Harris had a similar economic strategy. So and she wasn't going to bomb Iran.
And just like we did with the Green New scam, where we were scammed, the whole country was, I wasn't scammed. I got it right from the beginning. I got it from the first minute when I heard this crap.
Oh, yeah? Yeah, didn't you say something the other day about how hot it was and the hottest you've ever seen? And it was like the hottest and the hot, and the water from the Colorado River is down and all that kind of stuff. And who could have told you that was happening?
They were saying wind was so wonderful, except you couldn't watch your television. They wanted to watch the debate. Donald Trump against Sleepy Joe Biden. Nobody could watch it because the wind wasn't blowing, remember?
No, that wasn't an actual thing. That was a comedic analogy that you attempted to talk about. That didn't actually, wait a minute. Does he believe that actually happened? Because I remember him telling that little story. Darling, I want to watch the debate. Oh, we can't. The wind's blowing, right? That was a story he told. Does he now believe that was a real exchange between a couple?
Donald Trump against Sleepy Joe Biden. Nobody could watch it because the wind wasn't blowing. Remember that? Darling, we'd like to watch the debate tonight. I'm sorry, the wind isn't blowing. No, that's one of the great scams of all time.
Yeah, he seems to now think that actually happened.
You know, if you dislike another country, let them keep building windmills. They are going down. People are finally figuring it out. But we're not going to let it happen to this country. We're going to use the kind of things that work. And
like what? I mean, the sun it's always there for you. It always comes back.
Working better than anybody ever thought possible. So,
really? What, steam engines?
So experts have observed that the amount of energy a society produces is the single greatest indicator of its advancement as a civilization, its success as a country.
Well, over time, since the 1700s, sure. That's like saying the growth of tribes it could be charted by the number of fires they started to cook food and stay warm during the winter. The ones that didn't got ate.
Think of it when you think.
If you think. I mean, you don't always.
The amount of energy produced, Lee. So when you give those fast approvals, that's a positive thing. I want you to feel good.
He does. He wants you to feel good.
Yet instead of offering a positive version and vision for carrying
vision, variation, VJ Kodak, is he with us today?
American civilization to new heights, the radical left only wants to limit our energy consumption and rein in our American dreams. We have the American dream.
Rein in.
Until we came along, we had a great first term. We had the greatest economy in the history of our country.
Sorry, we had an American dream until you came along? I think we might have had a broken clock moment. I think, it was the first true thing.
And this economy will blow it.
In all fairness, though, that's a pretty low bar considering the gibberish we've been listening to.
We're doing very well against the Islamic Republic of Iran.
Okay, good. He said Iran that time. We were a bit concerned, obviously, after last time. Where is it? I have it over here. I have to label these better.
Begin the killing.
That's not what I want.
Islamic Republic of Japan.
There you go.
We're doing extremely well.
Awesome. We're doing awesome.
Would like to do something, but I say they're not ready yet. They
What would they like to do? Kill more of our service members? Sink more of our ships? What do they like to do?
need more of the same.
Huh? Oh, okay. Again, one more time. You what now?
The Islamic Republic of Iran, we're doing extremely well. They would like to do something, but I say they're not ready yet. They need more of the same.
They need more of the same. So we will bomb them into talking because they really want to talk. Thank you for the super chat. That's amazing.
They're not ready yet. They got some evil intentions. We cannot let them have.
Well, you got to that's how you do it then. You bomb the evil intentions right out of, we had the war on terror. Now we have the war on intentions. Next it will be the war on ennui. Look out, nihilists. It's a slippery slope.
Nuclear weapon. If we did all this that I'm talking about your data centers, isn't that important? When they saw.
Well, it kind of would, because the countermeasures and stuff would be guided by AI, and it would be probably one of the. I mean, if you want to talk about the nullification of nuclear weapons as a genuine threat, the answer would by and large be in AI coming up with a solution for it. I mean, if you're going to get to the technology where you could neutralize the effectiveness of a bomb before it even makes it to its target without blowing it up, that again, the answer might come that way.
Blowing away communities one by one.
Or all at once. I mean, I think that's the big concern with nuclear war.
We cannot let them ever even think about having a nuclear weapon.
Right. So this is a war on thought. So if they think about it, dead.
That's exactly what.
What if they're thinking about it and going, that's not a good idea? Are we going to kill them anyways?
It's happening. They'll never have a nuclear weapon under the.
Thank you. So everybody's like, somebody clap and get him back on topic. If you clap, he pauses and then he looks at his paper again. Shit.
And by the way, this should have been done by other. They've been saying 47 years now.
Then fuck you. You should have run on it. Then don't run on no new wars. No new wars. Don't run on that. Don't run on no new Middle Eastern wars, no forever wars, no regime change wars. Don't run on it. Say, as soon as I get in there, I'm going to settle what's been going on for 47 goddamn years. You know the PNAC document that you guys were all worried that John McCain would carry out? Well, I'm going to fucking do it. And one of my big problems and why everybody allows me to pick on him, even though, and call him, say he wasn't a war hero, even though he was a POW. The reason Republicans are okay with that is because they know I'll just carry out PNAC because Trump is just a typical Republican. This is the reality.
About 3 years, but they should have been done for 50 years by other American presidents.
No, it's gained 3 years since it seems like it's been 3 years since the beginning of the war.
Or other countries. Didn't have to be us, but it seems to, if we don't do it, nobody else is.
Yeah, I don't know why they don't want to just randomly attack a country they could negotiate with.
But I will, and no.
Or that they had to deal with and then tear it up and then attack them anyways. And it's not like there aren't other countries where their leaders are absolute pricks. They just don't have the gumption.
Nobody else has the.
Or a $1 trillion military budget.
Capability to do it either. We built, in my first term, the greatest military anywhere in the world.
Fuck you. Think about what he's saying right there. So before he came along, the greatest military in the world didn't exist. The Americans that served in World War II, the military that was built up, from then, like those people were just losers. Military service people weren't shit till he came along.
We're using it a little more than I thought.
Thank you so much, CSL.
But that's all right. We had Venezuela that Chris is doing a fantastic job, and we've paid for the cost of that war many times over. We're taking millions.
It's not a fucking investment. What a skeevy bastard. Okay, I did want to show other things. You're right. So many things. All right. Meanwhile, somebody has been trying desperately to steal our AI-generated thumbnail thunder, and that's Bendover Johnson, of course, who, and maybe he meant something else when he said
keep an eye out for the end times.
Maybe that's not the end he was talking about. But so he's been, I don't know what the fuck this is. Putin pushing a red button and Trump, and apparently ours aren't going off, but they're all launching towards him while the Ayatollah, and then Benny's freaking out. Russia with Iran? What? Russia. So Benny Johnson's in on the Russia hoax again? But one of the people who really hates these, the AI generated thumbnails and doesn't like it at all is Dim Pool. AI thumbnails. AI content is the end of influencers, says frowny face. Sorry, one second. Let me jump over here. Completely. Come on, there you go. Scale up, you bastard. Yeah, that's right. Completely AI generated Tim Pool. That's the problem. AI generated thumbnails are ruining everything because Tim Pool is using them to make himself look like BJ and the Bear. What a dickhead. I love this. Like when you're like, AI content is the end of influence. It's over. And here he is. There you go. Just clean shit up. There you go with it. At least mine look ridiculous. I'm very proud of the one I did today. But like, it took a lot of talking. I'll show you this right now. I had to trick ChatGPT into doing that one for me because it's like I can't persuade on behalf of or against a particular politician or whatever. And I was like, I'm not. This is satire. I'm allowed to do satire. You don't have to have an opinion either way. Some people might like that he's doing this. Oh, good point. And then it just makes it. It's amazing how I can talk ChatGPT into doing whatever I want. I can sweet talk it. I call it sweet prompting. Yeah, same thing, CSL. Holy shit. So, I honest to God, like I was about to play this one, but this is so fucking dull. Everything I've seen out of Tim Pool that we've ever covered, except when it's materially reflective of what's going on in maggotdom, so you kind of have to need to know what's going on. But any of his actual pieces where he talks about coverage and he does coverage of certain stories, and it's from a POV, is so fucking namby-pamby and dull.
Change is coming. It's been bubbling up among the younger generations.
The kids today.
The older people have not been paying attention. And many of us are going to get trapped like Blockbuster got trapped. A downward
What?
spiral, and eventually business goes tits up. What we're looking at.
Why? Blockbuster went tits up because Netflix kind of came in and started delivering DVDs to home. That was the transition. It wasn't that Netflix came in over your internet. It was that Netflix, you could order it online and you could keep the DVD as long as you wanted and then send it back for other ones. Thank you, Anita. Appreciate it.
Is the AI content revolution. And I don't know how long it will.
Oh my God, who cares? It's like those VTubers that look like anime characters. Shit like this has been around for a while. But the thing is, the difference is faceless creators take a hit as YouTube cracks down on AI slop. This doesn't sound good for them.
It may actually be somewhat short-lived for now.
Oh my God. What did I say? Seriously, does he have a fetish for fence posts because he likes having one up his ass all the time?
But I do believe that we're looking at a period where AI content is going to take over.
God, shut up. You wish. Can they take over your stuff? Maybe it'll make a decision. God damn. Like the most watery milquetoast bullshit. All right, now back to Bend Over and the end timers. This is crucial.
Keep an eye out for the end times.
Well, I did, and apparently it brought me to this. Russia joins Iran war, bombs CIA headquarters in Middle East, Trump, Rubio furious, walk out of ... Oh no, they walked out of ... I didn't even know they went into ... Oh, sorry, here you go.
Conflict had the capacity to spiral into all-out world war. Of course, Ukraine and Russia are already at war. We are
When did that start?
technically in a Cold War with China.
Are we technically? How did that technically happen? What was the technical? What technical hurdle did we? Oh, I know. Right. We have a CIA level war because they've seized our president and our Treasury Secretary is slingshotting money through Argentina to them. Is that what it is?
And the Trump administration seems to be perfectly ready for that contingency. And they are certainly military and war badass posting right here from.
Sorry, Dan Scavino's posting pictures of videos of B-2 bombers, flying to China? What are they going to send bunker busters to Nepal?
Scavino, but there are different posts online that show the proximity and realities of this war in Moscow right now. The Russian capital is completely ensconced in smoke. The sky turned completely black.
Yeah. So obviously, is this one of those points where I should be
Eye out for the end times.
Yeah, should I do that now? Because it looks, if you didn't know, this looks like something Lulu Dallas Multipass would see on TV and think humanity isn't worth saving.
In the middle of the day, as Ukrainian drones smash into buildings, infrastructures, and oil depots and
infrastructures
give what is a completely post-apocalyptic iconography.
That's a pretty hot shot of that. I'm going to go with AI enhanced
In this kind of devastation that you're used to only seeing in Hollywood movies. This is the...
Well, that's true of almost all war, because most people aren't used to seeing it.
Wild berries.
Yeah, it kind of takes the oomph out of the story when you have to explain the name of the facility. Even, honestly, if they hit an Amazon place, you'd be like, oh, shit. Amazon sound... Wild berries, though, you're like, oh, is that a band? I hope members of the Grateful Dead that are still alive are okay. Aren't they in that band?
Center, that would be the Russian version of Amazon. Up in...
Yes, only shitty.
Flames. Flammables.
Sorry, what? I was taking a sip. What was that word? Lick lip? What was that?
Amazon. Up in flames. Flammables.
With playing flam poles? I think that's what I heard. Many flam poles?
Of Amazon. Up in flames. Flammables.
They're playing flam poles. Okay, sorry, I didn't realize that. That's a Russian game, and apparently you can only order it through Wild Berries. It's where you set your pole on fire, but you try not to burn your wild berries. I don't know what he said.
Batteries and so on.
Oh, he edited himself out later?
And it's still burning. It's been 72 hours since it was struck, and the black sky is still burning. The
sky isn't burning. It's full of smoke, but I don't think the sky is technically on fire. That would be a scary day, because that would mean we were living on what? Jupiter?
They're telling people to wear gas masks when they go outside.
Liberals. Masks don't work. Who's their Ministry of the Interior? Fauci?
People complaining that their eyes are stinging, that they can't breathe the air.
Yeah, but it's Russia.
Anyway, how is Ukraine getting all of this drone technology to suddenly turn the tides of war?
They're making it?
Obviously, I think it's because of the CIA's help. The CIA has been...
Obviously, the CIA is on the cutting edge of drone warfare.
Running that operation in Ukraine.
Why?
Ukraine.
What are you talking about? You don't think they can... You can see the Wild Berries facility on Google Earth. You do know that, right?
For the extent of the war that has now been in its 5th year. And so it was. I always assumed that it was just a matter of time before Russia starts helping our enemies, right, to get back at us and stick us
You mean like besides Trump?
in the eye. Seems to be something that now is happening. Goodness gracious. I mean, this is.
So wait, am I supposed to believe that Russia does not have our best interests at heart and that it's not a great country and that Tucker Carlson is full of shit?
Just this footage is just, again,
It's mesmerizing. I can understand why someone with a simple mind like your own would just stare at fire all the time. It's Benny, you've stumbled on why the news started to suck in the 24-hour news cycle, because all they had to show was apartment fires and people would drool and watch TV. Learn to look away, Benny. But you must look away. But at the same time,
eye out for the end times.
it's I know it seems conflictory, but
Used to seeing stuff like this at a Michael Bay film, maybe.
yeah, but if you saw it, it would go. You'd hear ba-dum, 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 ba, ba-dum, 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 like that, and somebody would be running in slow motion away from it.
Right? Roland Emmerich. Okay. The action flicks of the 90s. I can't believe it's real. This is Russia, right? Anyway, something happened yesterday. Donald Trump
Oh, something happened?
attended the dignified transfer of 4 U.S. service members who were killed when Iran did something quite astonishing.
Oh, really? What was astonishing about it?
Which is they were able to get a ballistic missile directly through our THAAD missile defenses that have been able to consistently and effectively shoot down Iranian ballistic missiles.
Huh. So they haven't been able to consistently and effectively shoot down Iranian missiles then?
These Iranian ballistic missiles are not, 5th generation missiles. That they're dumb bombs, effectively. And
No, they're not dumb bombs. They're guided missiles.
these new missiles are not only strike.
They're targeted specifically long range. A dumb bomb is an airplane dropped bomb that has some sort of push off of it, usually, or a direct drop like Fat Man and Little Boy, or has some sort of thrust on it, and the trajectory is decided by the flight path of the aircraft entirely.
Targets with extreme accuracy and precision, but they're striking American housing and containerized units, and they're doing so in a way that we've never seen before. The missiles accelerate as they're heading toward the ground, and
Fucking gravity.
they
The Iranians have weaponized gravity.
spiral and change trajectory, which makes them very, very hard to hit.
So they're not dumb bombs.
Something happened with the Iranians. They got smarter. Donald
Or they've had this stuff the whole time. They didn't learn how to make these things since February, you dick.
Trump saying they're going to pay a big price for this.
They're being decimated.
They're being I thought they were decimated. Sorry. I feel like am I from the future, or I'm living in the past, or am I from the past and I've been thrust into the future where everything was a lie?
How they were killed in Jordan.
No, they're doing that. That'll be released.
There was a report
You know what?
that it was Iran targeting barracks.
I don't know. Well, they're going to pay a big price. They're
They're going to pay a big price. The reporter goes, Iran is targeting the barracks. And Trump says they're going to pay a big price. He says he's going to.
Yeah, we know it was a half-assed answer, and he doesn't really give a shit, and he's kind of shrugging it off. What big price?
Gates of hell because Iran killed troops. And Donald Trump has certainly done that. He's been targeting Iranian nuclear power plants. He's shut down 2 Iranian nuclear power plants.
Oh, yeah? I thought their nuclear program was completely obliterated
Devastating number of
last year.
bridges, roads, and Iran is effectively on the brink of hell right now. This is what Iran looks like after last night's strikes.
So the only functioning organization in the country is the IRGC, is what you're saying? That we're affecting civilian infrastructure, so the transport of food and 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 like necessary goods for life, medical supplies, that kind of, we're shutting that shit down. But the IRGC is dug in like ticks. Brilliant strategy.
But there is something, and of course, you can see the total devastation and decimation of IRGC headquarters. The American Air Bridge is gone crazy. All of a sudden, you can track these things and see what is happening.
Yes, and you can track them, especially if
Out for the end times, and the land and air bridges are being ramped up for full.
Yes, we know this. People can check this online themselves. They don't need any help from you, dipshit. If you want to interpret this stuff, then that might be a show. Otherwise, you're just flipping tabs, you lazy fuck.
Or once again, State Department has issued a warning to all Americans traveling abroad, and of course, we are bringing out next-gen warfare with unmanned.
Sorry, you're replaying the speedboat bomb
and drones hitting naval bases, suicide drones. Everything's gone crazy. Iranian.
Also, I would go with kamikaze drones because they pull out without any belief that they're gonna, suicide drone seems weird since a drone can't kill itself.
Defense Force and IRGC Aerospace Force has been left without operational surface-to-air missile systems in Tehran. They're unable to engage U.S. Air Force B-1 bombers, so they're just bombing the hell. We will kill you. It's like,
yeah, and they'll continue. They just killed some of ours, and
sort of the message from.
That's sort of the mess. Sorry, what? Sorry, that it's sort of the message.
So they're just bombing the hell. We will kill you. Like sort of the message from.
Yeah, that's actually a great. You know what? That's the most newsworthy thing that Ben has said in a little while. Because that's exactly where Trump is. We will kill you is sort of the message.
The American administration. But we're left to wonder, like, how did the Iranians become so good in such a short period of time?
Or maybe they were holding back.
Obviously, this is the new CENTCOM footage that they've released.
Because one of the things you do is you draw a bigger force in and make it painful. If you know they can, if they, they have to respond to the public. If you know there has to be, in a democratic society, they have to answer to somebody. You can play a waiting game in some areas, and you can reload while they're doing it. You can also draw them into a bigger conflict, make them think they're out of it, and then draw them back in again. And unless they have people in charge who are smart enough to know that that's tactically how a smaller country gets an advantage, Jesus Christ.
And the answer to that question is quite interesting, ladies and gentlemen. The answer to that question may lie with the Russians. Marco Rubio was meeting with the Russians just this morning, actually. And the reason why this is of extreme importance is because America believes that potentially the Iran strikes are facilitated by Russia. Iran strikes on CIA facilities prompt questions about possible Russian role. Oh, no. Okay.
Oh, no.
Okay, what's this? U.S. investigates whether Russia provided targeting data or drone technology for Iranian strikes on the CIA facilities, citing attacks, apparent precision, and possible evidence of Moscow's involvement because they know where the CIA facilities are, right? And of course, there are CIA facilities all throughout the Gulf here, but they're hidden. And
fuck you. No, that's not how it works, shithead. They're not hidden. They're overt. They have covert actions in the area, but the actual places where we gather intel and work with our partners and all that kind of shit, none of the countries in this area have an illusion that you wouldn't have a CIA or it wouldn't do the more egregious shit than it's already been accused of. They don't cringe at the idea. They have their own, right? They understand that that's a reality, especially where they are. They don't need hidden CIA sites. It's the shit that they do that might be hidden, but the facility itself is, they share intel back and forth. They're fucking couriers that walk out of the front of the place and walk stuff over. Jesus Christ. The CIA specifically walked out of the American embassy in Russia and said, hey, your theater is about to be grabbed by these psychopaths. We're getting chatter. You should probably watch out. The Central Intelligence Agency isn't a fucking black box. They have black boxes within them because that's necessary for intel that you don't want to share. I don't know why the fuck. And again, Ratcliffe was running it under Trump when he was apparently attacked by the CIA. What are you talking about? Maybe, just maybe, they're just doing their fucking job. I don't work for the CIA. I've never worked for the CIA. I'm not going to work for the CIA. But I understand how the CIA works by and large. I don't have any illusions that if you got rid of it, we'd be better off. And I think it does matter who runs it and who directs it. And if you don't believe me, look at what Jimmy Carter managed to do. That's why he put the IGs in place. That's why he fired George H.W. Bush was the head of the CIA. Part of him joining with Reagan was to push back on the changes that Carter made to the CIA.
They would be known perhaps to Russian intelligence agencies, but
because the address is posted, you dimwit.
Potentially not to the Iranians. So is Russia helping out?
No, these are barracks, you fuckhead. Oh my God. Like, what do you... I don't even know why this is hard. Who the fuck thinks there's a mystery here? You can see this shit on Google Earth, you dick. What Russia supplies is whether the troops are there or not. Constant surveillance as opposed to a snapshot of the fucking location. The latitude and longitude is meaningless unless the target is there. And Russia, what they're accused of doing and what they more than likely do quite often to drive up the toxicity in our conversations and in the internal workings of our government, and then of course fuck with us when we're practicing imperialistic adventurism under people like Trump. What they do is they tell the targets, like, don't shoot yet. We'll let you know when they're there. That's what they're talking about. They're not talking about the goddamn location. They don't know, like, oh my God, this secret black box, this rando building. God damn, this is so lazy.
Iranian drone attacks on CIA facilities in the Gulf have prompted U.S. intelligence analysts to investigate whether Russia is assisting in providing targeting information. Advanced drone technology, says four people familiar with the U.S. intelligence. These people spoke with a condition of anonymity to discuss national security matters. U.S. intelligence officials have not yet reached firm conclusions about possible Russian involvement in attacks on CIA facilities. They cited the strike's effectiveness and apparent precision, as well as Russia's broader technical support for Iran as possible evidence. Oh my. U.S. intelligence agencies investigating.
And again, the precision they're talking about is what floor of the building and where. What side of the barracks. Why does this part matter more than that part? Because your drone or your missile might get through. Its range is limited. You're going to want to hit precisely there. Not, there's a big CIA thing. There's a fucking flag in front of it, dummy.
U.S. intelligence. No final conclusion has been made, according to Reuters. Iranian drone attacks, two facilities in Saudi Arabia and Iraq. One Western intelligence
and picture of missile
agency suggests that Russia is helping to improve the accuracy of the Shahed drones, including through transfers of navigation technologies. Oof. Iranian drone attacks have become very sophisticated and have improved dramatically. Amidst increasing worry of the U.S. decision
since when
makers that Russia is supplying Iran with targeting data, infrastructure, and covert sites in the Middle East, U.S. Secretary of State Marco Rubio met counterpart Sergei Lavrov,
who is a complete scumbag.
The entire meeting lasted just a few minutes, actually. Go ahead.
Yeah. What do you think they were going to do? Work something out?
Check. This is the press.
Mr. Rubio, will you ask the foreign minister today about Russia helping to target U.S. troops? Is Russia helping Iran target Americans?
Please, Mama, when will Russia stop its war in Ukraine?
Once again.
Okay, thank you, press. Thank you, guys.
Okay, thank you, press. Get out of here. Thank you, please. This is already useless.
Thank you.
Speak louder.
Time to depart. Thank you, press. All right, guys, let's go. Come on.
So
Again, the fact that they talk to them like they're school children, like the condescension part of it, so gross.
Marco Rubio just
And again, Lavrov is one of the worst people on the planet. He's a terrible human being.
sits there and kind of smiles and doesn't say anything.
And Trump, remember the picture of Trump laughing with him during the first term when he let him come into the Oval?
I don't know. Does that say everything? In Washington, they say Russia and China supply the weapons to Iran. Lavrov saying this is a fiction. It's embarrassing. U.S. supplies weapons to Ukraine, so they are direct participants of the Ukrainian attack and facilities in Russia. Yeah, this is what we've been saying.
Is it what you've been saying?
Marco Rubio being asked about.
Sorry, why would Russia be attacked if they hadn't, done something? Did we supply arms in a big scale to Ukraine before Russia started invading? Before for Maidan, Euromaidan specifically? I seem to remember, especially under a Democratic president, that we were the ones that talked Ukraine after the breakup of the Soviet Union into getting rid of their nukes, and in return, guaranteeing them security in case Russia would invade, a sort of soft NATO positioning, which we didn't live up to.
How the meeting went.
Can you please clarify what those proposals are and how relevant are they today?
Yeah, I mean, there was no, proposals, we know they've been reported about it. They call it 3+2, the trading and terror, but those failed. You can't have a peace deal unless both sides agree to it, and the Ukrainians would not agree to it. And so that's why that effort didn't work. So we'll have to find
the fucking Ukrainians, am I right?
new suggestions and new ideas, because certainly that one, it was not acceptable.
I got one. Russia, get the fuck out. If you're worried about people culturally, then go to the goddamn UN or the International Criminal Court and go, hey, they're forcing our people to speak another language or some shit like that. Make your case. You don't have to invade the fucking place.
Ukraine at the time, and I don't think it's acceptable to them now either. In fact, it's probably less acceptable to them. So
why? Because they've had 600,000 to 1 million of their soldiers killed for basically land the size of a football field in gains. It's a shit situation, and they're nearby, so you're having to kiss their ass. And Benny Johnson is still on Team Russia for some fucking case, for some reason.
when peace comes, it'll be because of some new idea and some.
So Marco Rubio saying we need new ideas here.
Is that what he said? I wasn't really paying attention. I was too busy wondering what the fuck you were going to say after he said that. And then I realized who I was watching, and I was like, oh, he'll just repeat what he says.
Meeting. Lavrov says we want to return to the Anchorage agreements.
Oh, yeah, you mean the part where Russia believes that anywhere a Russian soldier puts his foot is Russian soil, and so that's why Putin wanted to meet Trump in Alaska with a contingent of military guys, because that was their way of and sort of tacitly claiming Alaska as their own.
Met in Alaska, and Rubio saying the Anchorage talks failed. But they say it's extremely productive negotiation, so I don't know.
Horseshit.
But
are you saying that you can't believe what Trump says or any of his negotiators or his administration says? Are you sure? You seem disappointed, which, I take often as one of the very few signs that you're registering reality, at least for the time being.
It's important, right? If we're going into war with Russia again, we're joining that war. Have we already joined the war? Has Russia already joined the war? Let me know what you think in the comments. Important update.
Oh, fuck you. Comment farming on the deaths of American soldiers. Holy shit. I honestly, that guy is over time, he has become the Bongholio of Bongholios. Now, the other big story, before I, get on with this, is the around Fox Business and these other folks, what they're telling everybody as we do our Fox Business check-in. Just how many assholes do they have sitting around the table that will say, I don't think this is working, with a big smile on their face? I don't know. It's hard to say. Hold on. Why is that only working on the other thing? I've got to fix these things. 1, 2, there we go. And then we go to here. And where did that go? What are you doing? Oh, it has to play. There it is. I don't know why that's so much work. Thank you. Thank you. Hooray. Back to Fox Business. Oh, shit. Sorry, that's the wrong clip. So this is... Oh, sorry. Here you go. Market sell-off.
The people that are
The Dow hates this.
in charge there, they either break it or they want to change it.
Or they're not in charge, you dipshit.
So it looks like they're not ready to make a deal. So they're going to...
They can't. You don't even know who you're talking to. And you don't even know who they're talking to when they go back to their fucking country and go, hey, is this okay with everybody? Blam.
you to pay a price, and they're going every night the price gets higher and higher and higher.
For the civilians.
Iran not backing down following a 12th.
Oh, there you go, ladies and gentlemen. A $500,000 missile for a fucking bulldozer.
Night of strikes by the United States. President Trump telling Axios he is considering a massive attack.
Okay. He is considering it. Is he considering it with some stringency? Is he putting a lot of force? Very strongly. Is he is he considering it like no one has considered anything ever before?
Bigger than ever before.
Oh, fuck me.
On Iran, and he is close to making a decision. West Texas Intermediate oil, as we follow it, is nearing $92 a barrel.
That seems great. It was going and it was going so well.
Welcome to the Big Money Show. I'm Dagan McDowell, along with
which doesn't go. It's not, the money isn't as big as it used to be.
With my co-host Taylor Riggs, Brian Bremberg.
Did she say co-host?
Jackie DeAngelis, and with us for this hour,
right.
Making Money host Charles Payne.
Welcome.
Double thumbs up. Market's going to turn around on that. The standoff with Iran is only escalating. Iran-backed Houthis claiming attacks on 2 Saudi Arabian oil tankers in...
Which is, again, the third stage where the proxies take over and draw attention away from the main source of the conflict, which is the Iranian land, so that we have to go bug hunting, and that draws us away from them while they reload again, and then they start shooting shit, and then you see how this cycle works? This is how a bogged down cycle works. It's how it worked in Iraq. It's how it worked in Afghanistan. That's how you quagmire a bigger country.
Red Sea. That's sending oil higher. Traders pricing in the threat of a global energy supply disruption. The national average for gasoline here at home is $4.09 a gallon.
Winning!
And heading higher. President Trump preaches patience.
And oil will be coming, it's going to be tumbling down. It was 3 weeks ago. They thought we had a deal. I said, I don't think we have a deal with these guys. They break every deal they make. But I said, but people...
Says the guy who tore up the deal.
People thought the geniuses on Wall Street, they came down, really down, and goes back up a little bit, but it's going to come down maybe lower than when we even started, but just...
Maybe lower than when we started, which was still higher than this time last year, which was higher than January of last year.
In time, I always say, give me a little...
They did give you a little time, you dumb motherfucker. It was supposed to be 2 to 4 weeks. Then it was 2 to 4 months. Now it's 4 to 6 months.
Charles, what do you...
He was comparing this. Let me remind everybody, especially the maggots in the crowd and the maggot adjacent. If you please. He was comparing this, the Iran war, which he doesn't even have the guts to call a war because of the legal ramifications and he can't make a case for it. He was comparing it to fucking Venezuela. Materially like a Grenada-like police action where we kidnapped a leader and fucked off. I want you to just weigh that in your head, that he was comparing the Iran war that we are in right now to Venezuela. One night of snatching somebody and fucking off. No continued strikes, none of that stuff. Like, no comparison whatsoever. But he's comparing the two. One night versus when the fuck is this shit gonna end? It was supposed to end weeks ago. It was supposed to end months ago. And he keeps doing it. That's the part I would like maggots to have in their head. So maggots, think of this. It seems to work on them. I don't know. Think of this, maggots. Think of this, Republicans. Think of this. Think of this. He compares the Iran war, where we are right now, with Venezuela one night. How does it compare other than being completely different? Also, we didn't lose 14/18 service people. We didn't lose, we haven't got 400 injured. It would be closer if Venezuela was supposed to take an evening and Maduro dug in and we were still running around the country trying to find him, right? For months later. And it would be almost forgivable if you made it in the first week while you were saying we've won, they've been destroyed, they're over, their navy's gone, everything's gone, they're not fighting back. And you're saying it's just like Venezuela, both of them are like quicker. Nobody said we could do it and we did it. But it's been months. When it was supposed to be days, it took weeks. When it was supposed to be weeks, it's taken months. And he's still comparing it to kidnapping of Maduro from Venezuela.
Watching here. How do you see it?
D, all of the above.
I was going like, okay, you can go through A.
It's so funny, but it's I mean, because we're here.
B, and C. So
last night I was watching all of the CapEx spending, and I was excited about that. This morning I was watching a spike in oil prices and, of course, the bond yields. And that's superseding everything right now. On one hand,
yeah, that doesn't look good.
And it's kind of interesting because, again,
it is kind of interesting.
If you start talking about choking off, closing down two critical.
Wait, coming up, the rise of AI? Why can't I be talking about that segment, which I will be with my dear friend Rob Glenn tomorrow, probably.
Critical choke points on oil, up $5 or whatever we are in West Texas, 91, 92. It's unnerving. But again, it's still not 120 where in the past I've been on the street and in the markets where geopolitical risk used to be 20 or $30. So President Trump talking about Wall Street, they're still kind of giving or maybe hoping for the benefit of the doubt that maybe this will end sooner rather than later. The taco trade charts are popping up all over the place.
The what? Sorry, this asshole is talking about Trump tacoing? So, I think that we had to add that sound effect largely because of the cyclosporiacia that's going around.
Calculations on that.
Oh, boy.
Oh, boy. Said it. Now we're in trouble. We can't send this clip over the White House.
Because there has been a pain threshold, and President Trump is trying to manage that by saying, hey, give me some time, and I think they're trying that because initially we weren't necessarily getting that, right? But I think right now, because a lot of people,
we weren't getting what?
Not just Wall Street, but a lot of folks are cautiously optimistic that the Iran conflict was over and that we could get back to normal.
Yeah, morons.
Normal.
I take your markets, your equities, your oil, and I raise you a bond yield. I like that you talked about that as well. And I think I have some good news and maybe...
Oh, man. Polish that turd.
We'll think that it's negative.
She's a turd polisher. She's just polishing shit for tomorrow.
As the day...
I'm working on it. It'll be good. I think I need a full choir behind me. Oh, her turd polisher. Like that, thing. And then like big ripping solo. It'll work.
But our 2-year yield is the highest now since February 2025, 10-year the highest since May. But here's the good news. Right now, it's real yields. Why do we care? Because real yields means real growth, a bet on growth in the future, not necessarily inflation. Real yield is the highest since September of 2024. The 10-year real yield is the highest since October.
Get the fuck out of here. This is all happening because the big money around the world is chasing where to put their money for safety's sake. And they've gone to treasury yields because they don't know anything about AI, and they bought into either there's going to be a bubble, or I don't know how these things become profitable, which I don't either, because they're not going to be. It's kind of like if you had a business called Internet Incorporated and you're like, oh, this only works if everybody can use it for free. Fuck. Right? That's where the AI guys are. And the same thing with like oil. It's just all over the place in volatility. So they're just bouncing it back and forth. Real yields.
2023. So, Dagan, I know you've been talking about yields all week. And the nice thing is that since late February, the rise in yields has been due to real yields. But here's the bad news. If oil does stay around these levels, then that's when the nominal yield's going to go up because of the inflation part of the equation, not because of the growth part of the equation. And I think that's right now what investors are trying to figure out is we like the growth story, but then I think
how much do you want to bullshit yourself? I think that's where they are.
we're going to get hit with an inflationary story soon.
Yeah, think.
Especially at $100 per barrel.
Yeah, maybe.
And then I'll end kind of on another good news, bad news.
You know what I like is her directness.
In terms of the overall economy, jobless claims, were they the lowest since like the
1969.
60s? 1969. So
yeah, but you're not using a per capita on that one. That's by direct volume. Population has changed a lot, ma'am. So if you've got, back then, if you had 1 million people out of work, it was like, holy shit. And now if you have 1.5 million, it doesn't seem as bad, but those people are still out of work. And it's more like, 80 million.
that's incredible that this economy, maybe it's a low hire, but it's a low fire. No one's getting laid off. The bad part of that is that if this is the Federal Reserve that's now looking at inflation creeping up and they're thinking the economy looks just fine, real yields are strong and jobless claims are weak, and in this case, weak is good, then maybe there is more room to think about the inflation side of the mandate because the growth side isn't so scary. That's
oh, man, just spin those plates, lady. Yeah. I get it. You're on Fox Business. You got to make this look okay. It's not okay. It's not okay at all. And it was headed back towards shitty, but okay. And Trump threw a monkey wrench into it because he's a gullible dickhead and a sociopath.
of where I'm thinking about things today.
I'm going to quote you, Dagan, back to yourself from yesterday. We are in it. Mm-hmm. We're finally in it. The president gave diplomacy a chance. Marco Rubio saying Iran's still not ready to make a deal. They jerked us around as a country for quite some time, went back and forth, wasted time, bought themselves some time.
I got to tell you, this sounds like everyone else's description of Trump in this shit. This is what Trump has been doing. My brothers and sisters in the citizenry of Iran who have to put up with the fact that they are run by sociopathic lunatics just like we are. You want to build a bridge? That's it. Like, we need to start going, hey, Iranians, our guy's nuts, your guy's nuts. Maybe there's a better way.
Not that we didn't know and weren't making those calculations. But having said...
which means she and everybody at that table, their stocks don't reflect the volatility here. None of them buy this shit.
I do believe, and I always said this from the beginning, that the president felt before there was an escalated conflict, he had to prove to the American people that the road of diplomacy had been given a shot. And I would say it was given a shot. Even though it wasn't? And then some by this.
No, I'm not from Iran. I have kinship with the people of Iran because of the circumstance we find. I was about to say, do I look like I'm from Iran? Well, technically they're white, you know. That's the thing. Is that you're talking about the Persians themselves? I guess that's the thing, right? Hence the Aryan, Iranian, that's where that word comes from.
Administration. I am truly, truly mesmerized by the kinds of patience that they had.
Oh, yes. It's the long-suffering White House.
And that this didn't all kind of come to a head a little bit sooner. But here we are with...
It didn't. We were fighting the entire time the ceasefire was going on.
Oil at roughly $90 a barrel. That's West Texas. And you've got Brent just sitting under that $100 mark, although it hit it. And I just...
Oops. It's sad when they just throw it up on the screen for you right when it does. At least it's under 100. Ah, motherfucker.
Pulled up the weekly averages on production here in the United States and want to point out that we are close to almost 14 million barrels a day.
We've been close to 14 million barrels a day for 10 years.
Those numbers during COVID and after COVID had plummeted under Joe Biden, even when the economy was back up and running, because obviously the Democrats and that administration were pursuing a clean energy policy.
Production went down because there was no capacity to buy it. During COVID, the price of oil went to negative $25 a barrel. And it took forever to restart the oil industry after that.
Instead of looking at America and saying, what do we need to do right now to stay ahead and be number one?
Well, that's, hey, dipshit, one of the reasons why we're in this mess is because we still, on a material level, have to give a shit about the price of oil. If we had been all in on renewables for the long haul, we wouldn't give a goddamn. And neither would, by the way, all of our other trading partners, all the other countries in the world that are in this with us. They would have taken their cue from the United States in a lot of ways. So Europe and a lot of Asia would have already jumped a decade and a half further along in renewables. And the disruption of the Strait of Hormuz wouldn't have a material impact on the countries that need oil any more than like half the year in Alaska when they don't have sunlight as much as they would like. They're like, oh, no, I'll just take a vitamin D supplement and get over it.
Our production is at record level.
Or clouds at a beach would be a better analogy.
And that's really important. And it's why oil is staying around this $90 mark. I'm not saying it can't go higher.
It did.
We talked about
it will
120 being a bad place for oil to go.
Yeah, it still is.
And it's possible with this exacerbation that it could go up into those levels. But, had we not been at this production level, we could see $150 barrel oil.
Thanks, Obama. This is all shale oil, stupid.
And that's not even speaking to the Brent.
That's, by the way, it's also because of the natural gas part of the shale revolution that started powering buses and city vehicles and shit like that, fleets all across the country.
So keeping all those things in perspective and understanding what the president's objective is, this is the time that you...
Wait, you understand what the objective is?
Buckle your seatbelt and you trust that we have the intelligence and the assets.
Oh, fuck, she's pulling a Britney.
Are being moved there is my understanding. Reports of that overnight.
Reports of what? The intelligence is being moved?
The assets are being moved there is my understanding. You understanding what the president's objective is. This is the time that you buckle your seatbelt and you trust that we have the intelligence and the assets are being moved there is my understanding. Reports of that overnight to kind of take on the next phase of this. And I think
take on the next phase of this.
What they've outlined as an administration is to go in phases. You hit us, we'll hit you back. It's not like...
yeah, it's so mature.
It's this kind of all-out offensive, although that potentially could be coming.
Oh, dear God. I really do think try harder. Just a little hard. Just go for it. If you're gonna intentionally make yourself look this stupid, just swing for the fences. Just start singing When the Eagle Soars.
One final point that I thought was really interesting
is that they keep putting the 100 up next to you just to fuck with you.
And it's kind of being discussed in the backdrop.
Who did you hurt in the booth? Who in the booth has a crush on you and you still ignore their pleas to go out for coffee? Because they are clearly being an asshole about it. I'm not saying your judgment is wrong. I don't think it's a good idea for any woman to date someone who works at Fox News. But clearly they're a vindictive son of a bitch.
All of this is that nuclear deal for nuclear energy facilities
with the Saudis
in Saudi Arabia, where the U.S. would partner with them and create business interests. And there was some concern about that because of what that
9/11
really means, what it signifies.
9/11 because of 9/11. You think it's because of 9/11?
Yesterday, when we talked,
you think some people might be mad because of 9/11
about it, I immediately brought up the Abraham Accords. Saudi Arabia is not party to that agreement. That was Trump 1.0. But now President Trump is saying he will not move forward with any.
Sorry, so we're going to give them nuclear technology that they can't figure out on their own in exchange for them joining the Abraham Accords, which are a fucking meaningless peace contract between, which is really just a business and supply chain contract between countries that have none of our fucking business. Oh.
Deal like this without Saudi Arabia joining the Abraham Accords.
Next time you get a hotel room, you're checking in as Brent Crude. That's a great porn name. I'm just saying.
Which I think would just be massive in terms of the stability that it adds to the region. Whether or not they are willing to do that, the conversations, per Caroline Levitt, are ongoing. But I wanted to add that detail because I think it's really important. And we were discussing sort of the energy race and what could happen and how you create a stabler region. In Levitt's briefing that she was giving, somebody asked her, why
more stable?
Why is it okay for Saudi Arabia to have a civil nuclear program, but the Iranians can't have one? Because nobody trusts the Iranians. And we've seen
Sorry, we trust the Saudis?
Time and time again, what they do and how they lie to us and the rest of the world. And it's just not possible. If you have Saudi Arabia, who with MBS is more on the side of the United States than I would say ever, joining the
Did she call him a moron?
Abraham Accords, saying we are also aligning with Israel, you create a completely different dynamic in the Middle East. And this is where I thought the president was going to be going with this yesterday, because he has always said that he wants to expand that alliance and make it even bigger. So
it's just going to be a nuclear alliance then. This is awesome.
There's some really exciting things happening in the backdrop of conflict as well.
Question for you. Do you think the stability you get from Saudi Arabia joining the Abraham Accords outweighs the potential instability of introducing another nuclear actor in the Middle East?
I do. I do. Because I mean, listen.
Look, they're rich, okay?
Whether or not we've fully been aligned with Saudi Arabia all the time, that kingdom has, always put its interests first. We've always had good relations. Let's call it good.
Time in 2001, I can remember where it got a little tense.
Good relations with them. I don't see the Saudis doing anything nefarious with their nuclear program unless the dynamics really changed.
And what would that take? Besides very little.
And this would give us an opportunity to be a part of it, to really know what was happening on the ground.
No, why? Why would we have to be a part of it? If their scientists can come up with it, then you can look the other way. And you could say, all right, well, if you want to build that, good luck, but it's got to be for civilian purposes and that kind of stuff, or wag our finger, I don't know, whatever. But why would we share that technology? Why would we, other than to get a toehold inside the country? And, next thing you know, they're going to be taking our golf tournaments.
And the Iranians want to do their civil program without inspections and without allowing us to know what's happening.
Right.
Hey, anybody want to know whether the Saudi agreement allows for inspections or not? Don't go look it up, maggots. Don't do it. Maggots, stay where you are. I need you to sit there and be glued to the program for, the viewer hours. You really do help me out so much. But don't you dare leave and go click on another browser. Don't do it. Don't click another browser tab and look up whether or not it allows for inspections by the IAEA in the discussions and whether this was a priority for the Trump administration. Don't look it up.
And that is why they can't be trusted. So I would say also it kind of gives the region a little heads up that stuff is changing here. Things are happening. And there's a new sheriff in town, not only in America, but now kind of a different dynamic over there, too.
Yeah, I do.
Oh, get the fuck out of it. They're running out of oil. The Saudis are running out of oil. They're cash poor. That's why they're pulling back money from some of the the far-reaching cousins of the royal family. And they know that the future holds that they will be a tourist state. And they're going to need some other way to make energy other than oil at some point. That's why they need it. If having all the oil you could possibly want is enough to power your entire country, which it isn't, because again, very few factories are run on gasoline. They're doing it because the future of oil is doomed. That's why Trump thinks the price of oil and all this stuff is going to plummet after the war's over. And there's a lot of case to be made that it will. And it'll continue to plummet because of demand destruction, which is being sped up largely because of this war.
I think for sure the play with Saudi Arabia is a play to counter China. And I like that. And the president's been really good on that front. My concern is I want the Saudi Arabia nuclear deal to be more airtight than the memorandum of understanding we had with Iran. Of course. Right?
You mean the thing that wasn't a thing?
I don't know.
So wait a minute. Are you asking for Trump to actually read this agreement?
A lot about the
unlike the other one?
Saudi deal.
So fucking tired. Okay, so I know I went over, but I want to show you one more thing. That was the whole Trump's considering big attacks. Also over at Fox News Channel, Trump reportedly considering attacks bigger than Epic Fury. Jesus Christ, that's how he talks all the time. Of course he is. Hold on, wait, hold on. Get out of here. What is this? Turn on the audio. There you go.
Axios, he's seriously considering restarting major
He's been calling reporters.
Combat operations in Iran. Axios says his plans would include strikes that would be bigger than the ones carried out during Operation Epic Fury.
Yeah, sorry, by the way, I don't know why they would sneak that one in on us. I know he's not in the thing, but that is one of the worst nut shots I've seen in ages. This is brutal. I'm not even sure I can go back.
Secretary of State Marco Rubio not mincing words on what the cost could be for Iran.
As I saw
Brent Crude. Women are dirty. You putting thoughts in here.
Arachi, their foreign minister, who the other day say or something about their policies, an eye for an eye. The president's policy is a head for an eye. I mean, honestly, that's what it's.
Okay, fuck you. First of all, an eye for an eye in the Bible was meant to be mitigatory. It was meant to lower the punishment. When Jesus was saying an eye for an eye, instead of, they used to just kill you. If somebody took your eye, they would kill them. The idea was, no. It should be fair. Based on the loss. There was an interpretation of, I think this is Old Testament, but there's an interpretation where an eye for an eye was meaningful in that you'd no longer kill someone for some small slight, usually theft. Don't kill somebody for stealing. Take some time or money away from them. You lock them up or you take some goods of theirs.
I mean, they will pay a very heavy price.
That was a funny lip flap that I did there. I enjoyed that.
Price.
This is America Reports. I'm Sandra Smith in New York. Jillian, great to have you back here today.
Are we sure Sandra's not AI? I'm fairly certain. Where it was like, give me a Karen at the Fox News desk and mixed with one of those poorly constructed Chinese sex dolls that creeps me out.
Sandra, that was a great line from the secretary. It's good to be with you. Jillian Turner in for
such a great line.
John today. So the president's
a head for an eye.
Comments come as this new front opens up in the war with Iran. The Houthis have struck 2 Saudi oil tankers in the Red Sea. Indiana Senator Jim Banks with us to weigh in on this. Also, the debate over additional war funding.
But first, we're going to kick off with our Fox team coverage. Alexandria Hoff is at the White House as the administration explores a nuclear deal with Saudi Arabia. But first, let's get to our chief foreign correspondent, Trey Yanks. He's live in Tel Aviv for us at this hour. Hello, Trey.
Sandra, good afternoon. There are indications the war with Iran could escalate in the coming days.
What? How do we know? Oh, because Trump has said it could be over. I don't know. We're probably going to. They want to make a deal. I think they will, but I don't trust him and I don't like. So it sounds like he's about to snap and bomb some shit, or it could just peter out, like his Stormy Daniels experience.
Wall Street Journal reports the U.S. military is surging equipment, assets, medics, and even special forces to the region in preparation to give President Trump a variety of options moving.
Oh, God. So that's what they were talking about on the other Fox Business clip.
Forward. This does follow the 12th straight night of U.S. strikes against Iran.
If you don't count all the times we struck them during the ceasefire, which wasn't really a ceasefire. And also when they struck us during the ceasefire, which they didn't actually ceasefire either.
They have expanded the target list, not just going after positions near to the Strait of Hormuz, but also deeper inside of Iranian territory. According to CENTCOM, the recent strikes have focused on degrading Iran's ability to threaten vessels in the Strait of Hormuz.
By what? Insulting their mom or just making them feel bad about their big zit?
Remember, President Trump on Wednesday warned Iran directly, saying the United States
like Operation Killdozer
would target one bridge or power plant anytime Iran shoots at a ship in the strait.
I don't know why you wouldn't just blow up the road. Just send the munitions there to actually blow up the area. It's like, it wouldn't really matter if they had bulldozers, if they keep having to spend all that energy and pay the driver and feed him and all that kind of stuff to dig the fucking thing out.
Trump has also indicated a new warning is being issued to the Houthis in Yemen.
Ooh, he indicated that a new warning is being given. That's nice. So was this a forceful, this is like an indication like no one's ever indicated before?
He says that if Houthi forces attack additional vessels, that both Iran and the Houthis would face major military punishment. The warning comes after 2 Saudi-owned oil tankers were targeted by the Yemeni proxy group. The president spoke yesterday from Georgia about the ongoing conflict and the actions of Iranian officials.
Not really. He just kind of rambled a bunch and said stuff out of muscle memory while looking like you paid extra at the funeral home and went, he looks like himself.
We're likewise winning in the Islamic Republic of Iran, and we're...
By the way, he keeps saying the Islamic Republic of Iran thing to get over the Japan thing because he knows it's there. This haunts him.
Ensuring that they will never, ever be able to do to us what they've done to so many.
They did do to us. What are you talking about? I thought that was the complaint. They killed a bunch of American soldiers. They blew shit up. The roadside bomb.
Overnight, Iran launched new attacks against U.S. bases in Kuwait and Bahrain. Secretary of State Marco Rubio indicated that Iran will continue to pay a heavy price for these actions and their unwillingness to make a deal about...
Now he's Jim Carrey and Liar Liar. For this, we'll pay a terrible price.
The strait.
These people who are calling us every day, begging, let's do a deal. They send us messages through other countries, third countries. I mean, they're running out of countries to send. The problem is, every time these people do a deal, they either break it or after they make it, they want to change the deal. So they're probably not ready to do a deal yet, but they will.
This is so stupid. You don't know who you're talking to, and they don't know who they're talking to. You're an asshole. Just admit you're negotiating with the wrong party.
Because the price they're paying is very high.
Here in Israel,
Iran begging to do a deal. Again, audience of one.
There is a similar assessment that the conflict could escalate in the coming days. Many public bomb shelters have been opened as the Israelis prepare for the possibility of incoming Iranian missile fire. Sandra.
And also is part of the asset stuff that's being moved, stuff that will be, strikes ordered in conjunction with the Israelis.
Before you go, can I get your thoughts based on everything you just reported and this ongoing debate that we are all seeing on additional war funding and what you're hearing on that front?
The United States right now is preparing both offensively and defensively for the possibility that this conflict escalates. And that's going to...
Gee, if only we had done that before we started it. I guess no time like the present. That's what we're going to do, right? We need money to prepare. Now a warning? Okay.
Require a lot of money and resources on the ground, because we're not just talking about the fighter jets and the refuelers that are staging across the region along with these special forces, according to the Wall Street Journal. We're talking about air defense systems that the United States has provided to allies like Israel, the THAAD missile interceptors, and the Patriot systems that work to shoot down incoming Iranian fire. And so there are a lot of moving parts behind the scenes, Sandra. And now when we look at the new warnings today, it's not just focused on Iran. It's also looking at proxies across the region, like the Houthis in Yemen that previously came under American attack after they were threatening forces in the region.
You know, it's funny. It's almost like at the Pentagon, there might be some dude at his desk or some young lady at her desk or some old lady or some old man, that any group, any number of people, this imaginary person at the Pentagon that's been working there for years, whose job it was probably a decade ago to game out what would happen if there was a war between us and Iran, and would the proxies join? If so, when? Would the Strait of Hormuz close down? Like all these contingent factors, right? And that person is just going, puh, puh, and slamming their head on their report, which sits in a closed folder right on their desk.
Appreciate your, as always, excellent reporting. Trey Yinks there in Tel Aviv for us.
Yes, thank you for standing on a rooftop in Tel Aviv and telling us stuff that is patently obvious to anyone.
Thank you. Jillian?
All right, now we go to Alex Hoff. She's at the White House where Caroline Levitt just wrapped up her briefing. Alex,
I'm sure we're all wiser for that.
what was your takeaway?
Yeah, well, Jillian, the questions today leaned heavily on the statement that President Trump put out this morning regarding the civil nuclear deal that's been signed with Saudi Arabia. Now, that statement he put out, it emphasizes that this deal mandates no enrichment of material and pertains only to non-military use. But in there, somewhat of a curveball was thrown, and the president saying the agreement is totally subject to Saudi Arabia joining the very respected and successful Abraham Accords. Now, Saudi Arabia has never expressed any willingness to do this. Caroline Levitt was asked why this was not part of the initial agreement and if the president's spoken to the crown prince since the condition to normalize relations with Israel has been added.
Because it doesn't fucking matter. It's smoke. Like, he's trying to buy them in. By the time this would become a problem, he'll be gone. It'll take him 2 years to build this system up. He'll put a fucking like wedge between the next president and Saudi Arabia by like punting it to, you've got to deliver the uranium.
As you know, the president just put out this statement a few hours ago. I don't believe he's had a call with MBS in the hours since.
And you've just read it, and I don't know what it means either.
However, this is something that he has raised in previous conversations and has also said many times in the past.
No, he hasn't said it many times in the past. If he's considered it, that's one thing. Who gives a fuck what he considers? He considers a lot of things. This was presented as an actual deal. So is it happening, or is he walking it back? And if he is, who's more angry about it? Like normal people who are like, I don't know if we should be handing out nuclear capabilities to people just to buy their way into a bullshit peace deal so we can say we added their name to a list of accomplishments. Or the people in Trump's party who are like, you mean the 9/11 guys?
And if he doesn't agree to that, if Saudi doesn't, the deal's going to be dead.
Sweet.
She says. At 2:30, the president's going to participate in an historic ratepayer protection pledge that's aimed at ensuring the costs of data centers are not passed on to American households. Data centers, of course, the
just the toxic effects, but
necessary fuel for AI, the race we have right now.
Yeah, aren't those beautiful? When you drive, and if you like a certain type of thing, when you drive by those things, how do your nipples not get hard? Look at that. This is exciting. Look at that. It looks like somebody built an airstrip out of Legos and for some reason they're like, I'm making snow runways in the middle of a green field. That's all right.
China on that. And this week, Treasury Secretary Bessent said that the U.S. could sanction Beijing for accusations.
Yeah, look at that. Just there's a certain majesty to them. You know what I mean?
Of tech theft by them using American AI to build their own models. I asked about this.
Do you think this will come up when the president meets with President Xi in September?
No.
Well, I have had the honor of being part of some of the meetings and discussions.
Part of some of the meetings? I think we should be talking to Natalie Harp.
between President Trump and President Xi, and I can tell you there is always a wide range of topics that come up. I would imagine this would be something it's of high importance to the president and of this administration to
Oh, yeah, you would imagine?
obviously ensure that America remains dominant in the AI race.
Sorry, he never has. So why would he start? I guess you'd have to imagine it because it's never going to be a reality.
Today, the president will also be hosting players from the World Series champs, Los Angeles Dodgers. Guys, we'll send it back to Jillian.
That was embarrassing too. All right, I went way over. I gotta get out of here. I don't know if we had anybody to raid, so I was just bogarting and stuff. So tomorrow, just so you guys know, tomorrow morning I'm going to do my show with Rob Glenn, Friday AI, and lots to talk about tomorrow, especially around the data center stuff, which again, the data centers I predict are the pets.com of AI. AI itself is not going to burst. There's not going to be a bubble about AI. But the localization of it and the idea to take these giant trillion parameter models and shrink them down to a few billion through compression and harnesses and stuff, which I will discuss a little bit tomorrow, that is going to be how AI actually reaches a functional tool within the workplace and in our world. It's not going to be because of these giant freakazoid trillion, like a trillion parameter models in these huge fucking barns. It just isn't. It won't happen right away, but what you're seeing with this build out is the training of the, oh my God, we're at a point where we don't need any better models. And that's still about a year away, but it's going to happen. And then as soon as that does, the capacity and necessity for gear to carry that model out is going to shrink. It's going to get smaller and smaller and smaller really fucking quick. And so what you're going to see is these places that took these things on and they're like, this is paying my property taxes. And this are going to have this big fucking dead Kmart the size of, 180 football fields or 75 pentagons in their, on what was formerly farmland. AI is around for good. The data centers, and again, I keep seeing this with, we talked about this last week, but I keep seeing this with Bernie and all these other folks. We need to tax these AIs on behalf of the stuff that they use. So we'll take a 15% tax because they're using all of human information and ingenuity. Okay, first of all, they're using worldwide stuff, not just American stuff. So somehow we're going to tax the cultures of other countries that were also absorbed in this shit. That's fucked up. Right? Can somebody ask Bernie about that part of it? It's weird. Oh, great. Okay, so we're going to raid Liberal Dan. Okay, excellent. I will wrap up. So we're going to be taxing its use of like the great works of history and art and forever. Many or Bernie, I'm not bashing him. It's an example. He's not the only one saying it. The point is that's part of the plan. They want to tax these companies. The problem is none of them make a profit. Not worth a damn. And not to the extent of the expenditure that's happening by any stretch. And they might eventually, but they probably won't. At their usefulness, they will become a lot more like a utility. And you localize those things, where's the profit? You have to get your money on the front end. You have to charge them fees for the data centers they're building, for the energy you're using. You have to do that. Because if you wait around to tax their profits, when are they going to see a profit on a $750 billion in investment? That's one of the freakouts from Wall Street. That's where the AI bubble comes from. The talk about it. There's no way they're going to make this money back for investors, and there's no way they're going to pay it off, right? So where the fuck is the profit going to come from? Because that's where taxes come from. They don't come from revenue. They don't. You have to get it first. You have to charge this. You have to charge them ahead of time. for the land and the water and the resources. And you have to write into the contract of it that when if they shut that data center down, they are responsible for either packing the whole fucking building up as fast as they built it, or repurpose, making sure it is a facility that can be repurposed into something else if it all goes under. Because they're getting all these tax breaks to do it locally. That would, by the way, offset all of it. You can't replace all the water that's used. Yes, you can. The water comes back around. The problem is any toxicity they would put in temporarily that would affect the people that are there. And a lot of these are closed water systems. That's not the point. The worst part of this will be the giant 2,000-acre decrepit fucking barn that is sitting there in 5 years with nobody in it. And if you don't believe me, go look at auto plants that shut down, or old hospitals that had lead paint in them, or mental institutions with lead paint. Which, boy, you want to talk about a perpetual motion machine. That's the analogy that works for these things. You can't, yeah. Same thing with the detention centers, because once that policy's gone, what are they going to? They're going to have to convert those as well. There won't be any jobs in them. Yeah, $4 billion tax break for one near you. You're not going to see taxes from them because they're not going to make that kind of money. They aren't. It's not going to work that way. That's why OpenAI is looking for a government stake. That's why Anthropic is in this back and forth about, getting into a pissing match with the Trump administration, so that states that don't like Trump will go, you know what, we're going to use Anthropic, like California did. They want to be the long-term contractor for these kind of things, for a specific form of it. Yeah, look at any dead industrial zone and you're going to just see this spike, because they're not necessary. They won't be necessary on a faster scale and timeline than people understand. It may be 10 years. I doubt it. But 10 years is not a lot. Think how big these fucking things are. And then 10 years, they're empty. And what are you going to do? Turn them into a giant elementary school that goes on forever? I don't see it. That's my issue with these things. Data centers turn into mega churches. Hey, it worked for Kmart's. That's where you got your big strip mall mega churches. Do they understand? I don't think they do. That's what I'm trying to say. And if I wasn't adding something extra or new or different or that provided some more clarity to a situation, I wouldn't even talk about it. So we're going over to Liberal Dan. I'm going to throw to him. Thank you guys for sticking around. Thank you guys for the super chats. I'm sorry, it's like when I get on a roll, I don't get a chance to look at them. So Crystal, thank you so much for that. And I'm glad you like the songs. Thank you. Catherine says there's nowhere to put gold, Rose Garden in fake gold letters. Oh, don't give them any ideas. Today, the Dodgers met with the great draft dodger. That wasn't lost on anyone, I don't think. Good point. Thank you. We hit 92K, so thank you for the cup of coffee. Thank you for the congratulations on that, Corntech. Bless you. CYNTMCG, thank you so much for hitting that point. I think we need an AI video of Trump like the Red Dwarf Arnold Rimmer song. Okay, I will look into that. Making that happen. Think Sleepy Donnie's diaper is going to nuke Iran? No, I don't think so. I don't think he's going to nuke Iran. As a matter of fact, I think people around him are fighting his impulse to do it. The only thing they have to worry about is if he makes the call without them, which they have to be there to do it. So, especially Dan Cain. So Dan Cain is the guy who's if it doesn't happen, it's because Dan Cain stopped it. And thank you, Pam. I will. I'm glad to go over. And thank you for the Shiba dog in the fighting position, in the combat position. And then I think this is Caroline Levitt. She should have named her child Propaganda because she's the mother of propaganda. I don't know if she's the mother. I think she's the great granddaughter of the better ones. And happy Thailand Thursday. All right, that sounds naughty. All right, I'm gonna let you guys go. Thank you so much. Have fun over at Liberal Dan. It's so much, and now I've got to go back and do some more work at the house and continue to stankify myself. Meanwhile, I remind you that this is all because maggots insisted on ignoring the fact that Donald Trump was Jeffrey Epstein's running buddy, and he'll do anything to hide the Epstein files. That's it.
Yeah. If they ask, I
the redacted wars.
You ain't seen nothing. Yeah. We ain't saying nothing.
Maybe one day.
Black bar from my past, can't track this. Screenshots cropped out, can't catch this. If it looks too wild on the axis, highlight, right click.
Enjoy Liberal Dan, and thank you guys. Subscribe.
Blur that face, can't fact check the madness. Throwing out page from the Bad Habits Atlas. If the story get messy in the ad-libs, highlight, right click, boom, redact this. I was young, I was dumb, I was scrolling. Type way too much, hit send, heart swollen. Now I keep receipts.
Sounds like a plan, VJ Kodak.
But anything risky, get hit with the tone of whole group chat. Got tails, I ain't claim. If my name pop up, that's a typo, blame. Who's that in the pic? Man, that ain't go strange. That's a random stranger with a very close face. Understanding my friends, I plead don't recall. If they ask for the tape, it's a missing file. If they pull up the clip, that's deep fake style. If they show me the proof, I just smile like redact this. Black ball from my past, can't track this. Screenshots cropped out, can't catch this. If it looks too wild on the axis, highlight, right click, boom, redact this. Redact this. Blur that face, can't fact check the madness. Torn out page from the Bad Habits Atlas. If the story get messy in the ad-libs, highlight, right click, boom, redact this. If it hit too close, that's a rumor I heard. If the dateline match, that's a clerical error. If the outfit match, that's a popular shirt. If the tattoo match, that's a stock photo search. I'm allergic to question, coughing the light. I just edit the ending, soften the bite. Take the worst 3 parts of the night, then slice like fun was had and we were not. Every X got a chapter I seal. Every text got a gap in the reel. I ain't lying, I'm curating the reveal. Just trimming little bits of the raw, real deal. If you saw, you didn't. If you know, you didn't. If you talk, I'm clipping. If they ask, we glitching. Swipe that name out, crop that frame out. If it made me look foul, delete then fade out. Redact this. Black ball from my past, can't track this. Screenshots cropped out, can't catch this. If it looks too wild on the axis, highlight, right click, boom, redact this. Redact this. Blur that face, can't fact check the madness. Throwing out page from the Bad Habits Atlas. If the story get messy in the ad-libs, highlight, right click, boom, redact.